Esquire IMAX 6-story screen, and thunderous sound system. Get your reserved seats today at IMAX.com/Sacramento. Thunderbolts playing this week at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Drake on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SacktownSports.com and the Sacktown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sacktown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Drake.
And the new era of Kings basketball has begun. Fingers crossed, hopefully. Doug Christie introduced today, of course, as the Kings' full-time head coach. Kyle Draper was there. What'd you make of it, Drape, with your front row seat, no doubt?
Not front row seat today.
Oh, really?
It was a packed house. I decided, you know what? I'm going to stand up. So I was one of the people standing up to the side. Had my Kings jersey on. I was not in a media role capacity today.
Which jersey? Whose jersey or what number?
No, not jersey. Just the shirt.
Gotcha.
Yeah, King shirt I meant. You know, so I was in a team employee capacity there to support my guy, Doug Christie.
That's nice.
So I sat off to the side by myself, or stood off to the side by myself. You know, you had some assistant coaches and people in the back and everything. I didn't want to be back there with them. I wanted Drape's own position. So it was good. It was a good press.
Do you know why that's a really nice form of respect for Doug to stand during his press conference?
No, it's not.
Because as he shared during his interview with Alan today, when he did the show here, that was a different studio mostly. He stood. He did a show standing up.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
No, it was the studio.
It was this one. Yeah, it was right here. Where was he at? In this seat right here?
Yeah,
Jay?
he would stand up in front of me, yeah. Well, in front of CV, then I would be in the
I'm going to have to give that a shot. Might be able to stay awake a little, stay fresh, By about 4:30, I'm like, oh, my gosh.
The problem is the mic is not as high as it used to be. We used to have a different style mic.
Yeah, I was wondering, yeah.
If we do that, we'll have to start the Christie clock and see how long you can go.
How long that could last, huh? We know what we need. One of those desks, those work desks that can, elevate and everything. We need that here. Or a window. Damn, it's summertime. It's nice outside. Give me a window right there.
I'm sure if the LeBron of the station asks for these things, obviously you're going to get them, right?
Talk to my good buddy Val. Let me holler at Val. Val
it's
will
going
hook
on
it up
tonight for sure.
Val will hook it up for me. But no, Whitey, I thought the press conference was good in this respect. I don't feel like they gave us any bulletin board headline material. So from an organizational standpoint, from a Scott Perry and Doug Christie standpoint, I thought it was good. Because if they say something and it doesn't happen, we can go back and nail them on it. We really can't nail them on anything after today.
They didn't leave any tracks.
Right, didn't leave any tracks at all.
Which is by design and is smart.
Right. So from that aspect, I thought it was good. One thing I did feel is, and I don't think they were just blowing smoke up our butt, I do think they sort of see eye to eye on some things.
I buy that too.
You buy that too?
We don't know how long it'll last, but yeah, that seems pretty genuine.
Yeah, that part seems genuine. Now, I think my takeaway, I guess, and what I was thinking, listening to Doug and listening to Scott Perry, and if I would have been in a media capacity at that press conference and able to ask questions, I would have said, and we've talked about it on the show, do you feel like you have the roster to create the kind of identity that you want?
Mm-hmm.
Then what are they got? How are they going to answer that?
Yeah, because being there as a team employee, all you could ask is, Doug, what's your favorite color?
Right, exactly. It's almost like White House press briefings these days,
Yes.
It's like, Doug, so excited to have you here, man. Can't wait to light the beam with you, like you said. What shoe size? Right? Just something generic and vanilla. And so, I was just sitting back, letting everybody else do their thing.
Mm-hmm. The last couple years have been so dour, and so discouraging.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to a new direction. Hopefully that's what we have. And I know there's a lot of cynics like, I'll believe it when I see it, and that's fair enough. I'm with Drapes from what we saw today. I think there's reason to believe that there's a genuine synergy and a genuine commitment to form more synergy between the two of them, for what that's worth. I also thought it was really interesting, Drapes. And again, to your point, this could mean nothing, because you go back to Scott Perry's first press conference. He talked about, well, whoever coaches this team, Right. And so some of us thought, ooh, does that mean Doug's not going to be the coach? Well, Doug is the coach, but Scott Perry's good at not, tipping his hand.
Yeah.
So when he said the first year is going to be about establishing our identity and there are no shortcuts, that would suggest that the focus next year may not be so much on winning now, and maybe it's more about building. I don't know. I hope it is, but that was interesting to me.
Yeah, that was interesting. And, from where I sit, I think that's a good thing.
I do too. I'm with you. I hope that is the case.
Right. I think, because what we've seen around the league is when you try to skip the steps, it doesn't work.
I think we've seen it here, frankly.
Here, Phoenix, Brooklyn, when they got Pierce, KG, they went out and bought all these flashy toys and everything, and it just doesn't work. And I think how I translate what Scott said is they're trying to build a foundation here. They're trying to build a house right now. And you can't just, start with the windows. You got to go through the proper steps. And that's what I see what's going to happen here with this Kings team. With that being said, if we don't see fireworks this offseason, we can't say, they're trying to, it's a process and everything, and then get mad when we don't see fireworks. So this is something you've brought up. Are we resigned to the fact that the roster may only have slight tweaks to it?
Yeah.
Is that how you're feeling going into this offseason?
I was feeling that way more before today. It certainly looks that way.
Yeah.
But I'm with you on this, getting back to, one of the larger issues here. I get the sense that the two of them, Scott Perry and Doug Christie, and they've known each other a long, long time, right? When they sat down to hash this out, here's the type of team I want. Whoever, Scott says, this is what I'm looking for. It seems like Doug was like, yes, it's exactly what I want, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, the larger question then is, okay, great. That's the type of team we want. Here's the type of team we have. How do we get from what we have to what we want?
Exactly. And, it'll be interesting to see, going forward, if these two guys, talking about Perry and Doug, Coach Christie, I'm going to start calling him Coach Christie.
Yeah.
Continue to have this working relationship, open communication, open dialogue, because I wonder with Mike and Monty, did that start to wane? How much was Mike involved in some of the player personnel issues, decisions and things like that? Scott Perry always talks about, diversity of thought,
unity
and purpose. He's preaching that. So is his door always open? Can Doug walk up there and say, I need X, Y, and Z on this team? And will Scott Perry hear him? Not necessarily do it, but at least listen and hear him when he says that. That's what I want to see going forward.
Yeah. And as Scott Perry pointed out today, it's important that we talk now and establish the trust, because there's going to be bumps in the road. The honeymoon is just starting.
Right.
They haven't played a game, and it's so easy. This is what I want. This is what we're going to be.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And then once the games start, we'll see. So it's really important, obviously, to establish as much of that camaraderie as they can here in the months to come. And some of that will be dictated by what moves they make and how they both feel about the moves they make.
Right. The one thing, listening to them, and it goes back to the question I was would have asked had I been in that capacity. I do believe they both look at the roster and say, our identity, the style we play, I don't know if we have 15 guys on the roster that could do that. I do think they both, because Doug sort of dodged the roster question, I think it was, or Scott, one of them, it was asked, Doug didn't even answer,
both of them.
Scott was,
both guys.
It's true, but I just got here.
Right. And so I think both, inside, they both understand we need a little more. We need them dogs.
Yeah.
We need some dogs on this roster.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll see, man. Now it's time to get to work. I thought one thing that was interesting, too. and we knew this was going to come up. Coach was asked about his assistants.
Yeah.
Pretty much tap danced around that also. I've talked to a few of them, and they're still in limbo right now. Nothing has been decided or they haven't heard. So I would imagine, flushing out your staff is one of the first things Coach does. I will say this, starting Monday, they're having draft workouts. Player workouts coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And
so they have a second, right? Second round pick?
Yeah, second. And you might have to get Ace Bailey or Dylan Harper or somebody and work them out too. Might be in that top 4.
Could be.
Could be in the top 4.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
you have a better chance of getting your window.
That's true.
The Kings. But it could happen.
So you got to do your due diligence. But you usually have assistant coaches, help with that and work. So I wonder, over this weekend, is Doug going to make some hires? Is it some of the guys that's already been on staff? Like how they'll navigate that going forward?
Can this roster fit Scott Perry and Doug Christie's vision? That conversation continues with the Drive Guys. It's Friday on Sacktown Sports. Yes.
You heard the news. Newsmax just went public on the New York Stock Exchange and listed on the big board. Millions of Americans like you are joining our news revolution. Reuters Institute says Newsmax is one of the top 12 news brands in America. Even President Trump says it's terrific. 40 million Americans go to Newsmax, and its audience grew 50% since the same time last year. Millions really are making the switch to Newsmax. If you want to be a Newsmax share owner, call your advisor or get more info at newsmaxinvest.com. Stand with Newsmax today for a strong America. This communication is for informational purposes only and shall not be intended to or shall not constitute any offer to buy or sell securities, nor shall there be any sale of securities in any jurisdiction in which such offer, solicitation, or sale would be unlawful.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Big day for the Kings. We'll see how big of a day it is. Doug Christie's officially the coach. A lot of coaches are being named full-time coaches today.
Yeah, today's the day.
Your buddy Tuomas Isalo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that? He was interim coach.
Right.
They kept him on.
Right.
Mitch Johnson was interim coach. They kept him on.
Mm-hmm.
So Kings did the same thing.
Right.
Let's move on. Nothing wrong with
Without no search either.
Right.
Put
Without
that in
no
there.
search.
Looks like that's the trend. So the Kings may be ahead of the trend a little bit.
Right. Right. If you say so, I'll take it. Okay. All right. Go for it.
But it's interesting the way so much of today was about. Doug Christie embodies what we want our team to be about. Doug Christie says, I want my team to embody what Sacramento's about. And, that's easy to say, but, and Jay would know, you guys both know him better than I do, but I think that's sincere. Now, it's not easy to do, but when he talks about he wants a team that reflects the qualities and the values of Sacramento, he means it.
No, 100%. 100%. He called Sacramento a blue-collar town, and I never heard anybody, even debate whether it's white or blue, for Doug to come out and say it's a blue collar. I thought that was one of those quotes that should resonate with the fan base.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? You're right. We're not San Francisco, the wine and cheese crowd. We're not fake LA and Hollywood. We're Sacramento. We're blue collar. And so how do we get those players that sort of embody that also?
So I've said that for years, Drapes, when we had the St. Jean team here.
Mm-hmm.
And they had some tough buckaroos, as Jerry would say. They had Mitch, and they had Michael Smith, the animal, and they had Spud, and they had Brian Grant. They had some tough guys. Marshallonis, and the city rallied around them because they won, but also I think because in a lot of ways that team reflected what the city was about. The great Weber teams, they were very flashy, but they still had, that grittiness about them.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Sacramentans have been, maybe without even knowing it, that's what we've been wanting more of from our teams here.
Well, look at a team like Memphis in the past. Grit and grind. Grindhouse. That fit perfectly with that city. What would our mantra be out here in Sac? I don't know. We got to come up. But
dug in.
I heard that. No, you get Memphis they get a Tony Allen. They get a Zebo.
Yeah.
They get guys that embody that. How do we find the guys that embody Sacramento and what we're talking about?
How many of those guys are here
right now?
Yeah.
I'd have to go
Isaac
down.
Jones.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give you that. I might. Isaac's kind of a nice guy, though. I might need a little more grind.
But he plays. Okay.
Yeah.
But Devin Carter.
Devin Carter. Yeah. Keon for sure. Guys that sort of have been overlooked, counted out, counted down. Like guys that people. I don't want to say. Who would fit Sacramento? And I'm just saying in terms of like Anthony Edwards, like. When he got picked number 1, I mean, he had a nice college career. He's fantastic. But some people are like, wow, he's number 1? I don't know a lot about him. And then he said, I'll show you. I'll show you guys. Mm-hmm. I'll prove it to you guys. Those are the guys I'm looking for if I'm Doug Christie.
Sidebar, I'm just reminded as you talk about that draft. I remember going into that draft, a lot of people said, it's not a great draft. And you look now, there's a lot of good players.
A lot of good players. What year was that? Do you remember offhand?
That would have been 20?
That's what I was thinking. 2020.
So you had Ant, and you had Wiseman and LaMelo, and you had, of course, Maxey was in there.
Yeah.
And you guys like Patrick Williams and Obi Toppin and
Denny Avdia,
Killian Hayes,
Vassell, Tyrese.
Yeah. There's some good
Okongwu,
players.
Solid player.
Mm-hmm.
Isaac Okoro, solid player. No, you're right. Sadiq Bey?
Yeah.
I feel like Sadiq Bey been around for like 40 years.
And you looked at him. Did you need a chair or something?
No, you're right. I mean, it's those are the kind of guys we need, Whitey.
Domas is that guy in some ways. He leads the league in rebounding every year, and you don't lead the league in rebounding if you don't have some tough guy in you.
I agree. I do think you ask how many players. I do think Domas embodies that with his play. Now, he's not going to scrap and get into a fisticuffs or anything like that, but the effort, the energy, the, blood, sweat, and tears, that's what he brings.
If there's an issue with Domas, it's that, aside from how much money he's making, it's that a lot of what we're talking about also is that defensive presence, which keeps getting brought up by Scott Perry and Doug Christie. Thank goodness it does. And, Domas that's never been a strength of his game.
Right. The defensive end.
The center is, off in the center of your defense.
Right. Yeah. That has not been, a key part of his game. And so as you build this roster out, Domas has that, that identity you're talking about, but is he good enough to help you win a championship? That's what Scott Perry has to decide. Mm-hmm. Or do you need to make a move and move off of that?
Mm-hmm. And I think another key to the Domas question going forward is if you're going to change your offense, and maybe they're not, we don't know. We saw some tweaks with it, less DHO, right? Would you say?
Oh, 100%.
So then Domas is not the focal point of the offense as much, which means his numbers will go down, which did happen a little bit. And then it's to the point where, okay, well then is he worth what we're paying him if we're not gonna ask him to do everything that he did? I don't know the answer to that, and also, how about him? What are we doing? Are we gonna go back to DHO? So I think that's one of the big issues there.
Well,
and I don't know, no one knows the answer.
Here's the thing, let's call it what it is. The roster built around Domas right now does not fit the DHO strengths that he has.
I agree.
It just doesn't.
Yeah.
I think you need more Kevin Huerter types, that kind of, like DeMar and Zach. They like the ball in their hands.
Right.
And so DeMar ain't running off
I know.
pin downs and all, running around like he's not.
Just give me the ball.
Just give me the ball, y'all. Clear out. That's not DeMar. And so we go back to roster construction, and while it's talented, the pieces aren't fitting. Like, ideally, you want to maximize each player on your team. You know who does a good job with that? And I say Boston. I'm going to throw Boston in there. I feel like the Knicks do a pretty good job also
yes.
at that, maximizing what each guy can do. I feel like our guys got to hold back and, hold back with their full capabilities to try and make it work.
That's why I'm not telling anybody anything they don't know, but that's why it's so important to do it in the right order. Like Scott Perry and Doug Christie are talking about, establishing the identity, then bringing the players in that fit that. Whereas the Kings are more, let's get in some good players and then see what we can figure out. Last year was a year of desperation. Got to make the playoffs, and you end up with some mismatched parts, and it's hard from that.
Right.
We got the players now. How do we make it all fit together? And sometimes it's hard to come to any other conclusion than that this doesn't fit together. So like the Knicks, as you said, Tibbs has been there a long time. So it's like, this is what we're about. This is what we do. Who fits that? We get that guy, bringing that guy, bringing that guy. And the Kings are kind of end up doing it backwards.
Getting the guys in. All right, now let's try to make them fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which also speaks to how tough Doug Christie's job was last year.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And, speaking of Doug, coach, I was thinking about the job he did last year and listening to Scott Perry, and to finish with a above 500 coaching record, which he did, considering all that, Scott's 100% right. Like, imagine it's like this, Whitey. Imagine you're a skateboarder.
Mm-hmm.
You only got 3 wheels.
Oof.
But you're still doing pretty good.
Okay.
What would Whitey look like with all 4 wheels on that skateboard?
Yeah.
Man, that dude would be like Nigel Houston out there doing backflips and tricks. And that's where I think they look at Doug as, all right, you were able to do this good amongst, amid all that. What if the road is nice and smooth and everything's aligned for you? How far can you take this team?
Do you think if we had any sort of teardown, even a partial teardown, and they felt that they needed to do that in order to establish what they are about and get players in that fit that? I don't know if they're going to do that or not. If they did, let's say at least one of your big 3 ended up being traded out. How do you think Kings fans would feel about that? I'm asking you to guess. Who knows?
It depends on who it is. And we're including DeMar, right?
Yeah.
If they traded DeMar, I think Kings fans the majority of them would be A-okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
If you trade Domas, I don't think they would be. Zach is sort of in between those two.
Yeah, I agree.
And then it also, depends on the package you get back.
I know.
Like if you trade Domas for Tatum and Brown,
Yeah.
Domas, we love you, but.
What I'm saying is, what if you traded one of the big 3 and you got back pieces that suggested these guys coming back are more things we're building with rather than winning now with?
Say that again. Manny Too Legit says something in the chat, and he threw me off my game.
What if you traded DeMar for whatever you get back is clearly everyone can see, that's guys you're building with. That's guys that aren't necessarily here to help you win now.
Right now.
Yeah. With fans.
You said Domas?
Let's just say DeMar. Either anyone.
DeMar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think fans be okay with that.
Yeah, I think so.
Right. I think
they just want a new direction.
If they can see the path, ahead, I think they're okay with that.
Give me something to work
Just say
with.
it.
Yeah.
Really, it just comes down if they say it.
Actually,
if Scott Perry comes out and says, "Hey,
we made
listen,
this move because,"
right, say it.
Mm-hmm.
And you would imagine there has to be a press conference after that move. So if they do that move, come out and answer it. Hey, Scott, why'd you do that? Mm-hmm. Here's why we did this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When we come back, more on today's Kings goings on. Also, why last night was a wonderful night for the NBA. Next on Sacramento Sports.
Sacramento River Cats baseball is here, and the Cats Pass is your all-access pass to the full 2025 season. Enjoy access to every single home game at Sutter Health Park at unbeatable value. Cats Pass holders receive access to the Sky River Casino Solon Club on select dates, along with upgrades and guest options. Join us for unbeatable value with the Sacramento River Cats all season long. Get your Cats Pass today at rivercats.com.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is only a few weeks away with Bailey Zimmerman. Cole Wetzel. Plus Billy Currington, Nate Smith, Ernest, and more. Friday and Saturday, May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo. Don't miss pop-up stores, food trucks, line dancing, and more. Country in the Park, celebrating 25 years, May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Goldfield Trading Post, Java City, and Elemental Wine. Get tickets and more at CITPFest.com.
Play and win to take your loyalty to new heights at Sky River Casino. Join Sky River Rewards today for a chance to receive up to $2,500 in free play. Plus, you'll be in the know about upcoming special events and offers. Just minutes from Sacramento, right off Highway 99 in Elk Grove. Join in the fun with rewards that add up and up. Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino. Visit us to see how. Must be 21 or over. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's Carmichael Dave talking to you about my good friends at American Energy. You're in the Sacramento area. You know how the seasons work. They are a-changing right now. So American Energy wants to help you stay warm for the rest of the cold season, but help you stay cool during the warm season. Best way to do that, make sure your system is operating safely. So right now is the time to take advantage of half off a tune-up, $24.50. They cut that right in half, and if you want a diagnostic, guess what? You can't beat free. If it's free, it's me, and now it can be you. And also, it's the end of the season blowout. $4,000 off a new system plus any rebates. That $4,000, that's a direct drop from the sticker price. It's a great deal. Check them out at theaeway.com or an instant quote, or give them a call at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Tell them your good buddy Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Disturbed. Live. Oh, get up, come on, get down with the 25th anniversary of the 5-time platinum album, The Sickness. 2 sets, 1 show, The Sickness in its entirety, and greatest hits with special guests, Audrey, and Nothing More. Friday, May 9th, Golden One Center. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Disturbed. Live.
What sets Ashton & Price apart from other injury law firms? I'll tell you. From beginning to end, all important legal decisions are made directly between our clients and their experienced local attorney. A gate agent flying the plane, the receptionist performing surgery, not a chance. There's simply no substitute for the unique power of the direct attorney-client relationship offered by Ashton & Price. And there's never a fee until we win, and between you and me, we win a lot.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
I got to stick up for Drapes for a minute here. Our good friend, cherished listener, Manny Too Legit. You know, you made the analogy about skateboard. Yeah. 4 wheels was like Doug, the way I had to coach this year. Drapes is the one who pointed this out to me. He saw this first. But Manny says, I'm a skater, LOL. 4 wheels is better than 3 wheels. You can't skate on 3 wheels. That was kind of your point.
Right. That was... Manny Too Legit. He's taking everything kind of literally. Like
the funny thing is that when you said it, because I realized that, so I was thinking, well, I'd have to be kind of in the back on the
right,
side.
right. Yeah, I can't really. Yeah.
Spot where the other wheel's supposed to be.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And then we have a trade rumor.
Oh, what you got
from N? How you guys feel about Porter Jr. and Najee for Levine? That's what Denver reportedly were offering.
What
for? What for? Yeah, I don't know that they reportedly offered that. I'll tell you, I used to be a big Zeke Najee guy, and so was Calvin Booth. Gave him a lot of money. He's not very good.
He hasn't panned out. The way Calvin
I thought he was going to be good. He's another guy in that draft class, by the way.
Oh, Zeke in 2020?
Yeah,
Zeke Najee.
Yeah.
What about he went number 22 overall out of Arizona. What do you make of Michael Porter Jr.? Is that Keegan Murray part
he likes
2
to
or
shoot the ball? He needs the ball a lot. He's a good player. he wouldn't. He's not one of the first players that comes to mind when I think the guys that are going to fit what Scott Perry and Doug Christie are looking for.
I agree. You know, I like him as a player, but we could do better probably.
Kings almost had him when he came out.
The draft.
Yeah. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. So I don't think that's really Denver was offering that for Zach LaVine.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Maybe they were offering that when he was on the Bulls. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Hold up now. And I need the mayor of the city of Trees to weigh in on this one. I know we're talking Kings, but somebody on the text line. We got a call? Oh, go ahead. And
then we'll get to we got someone texting. All right, we'll get to all that. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Is this Carrie?
This is Sherry, actually.
Sherry. Hello, Sherry. How are you?
Good. I'm a big Sabonis fan. Hi, Kyle Draper. You know me. I've talked to you before.
Oh, yeah. What's up, girl?
I got a little, hey, how are you doing? Hey, I got a little, not a beef, but we are not a blue-collar town. And so he said, Doug must know us. No, he doesn't. Here's the deal. We've got 5 major hospitals.
Oh, you texted this in. This is the text I was going on.
Yeah,
all right, go ahead, Sherry.
Yeah,
Tell me about it.
5 major hospitals, prestigious hospitals, people all over California come to. We have 2 major universities. We have 5 community colleges. We have state workers. We have the highest group of lawyers in California, in Sacramento. We are not a blue-collar town. We're a professional town, okay? That's what we are. He's got it wrong. We don't have factories. We have professionals. All of us are professionals.
Sherry setting the record straight. Okay. All right. I'm going to let you... I'm going to let Jay and Whitey weigh in on this.
Thank you, Sherry.
They've been around longer than I have, you know.
Well, to that point, I'll say this. I know when the Kings were almost leaving, and I think this would have been when they almost went to Anaheim, I think a lot of people that wanted them to move, not people around here, but people in Anaheim and then later people in Seattle, they looked at Sacramento and they looked down their noses at Sacramento.
Right.
Not realizing that Sacramento is the seat of the state government.
Yes.
There's a lot of smart, legal people here who, mostly it was Carmichael Dave, I know, saved the team, but all of the legal minds in town had a lot to do with it too. So that's true. But there is a kind of a grittiness to Sacramento. I understand what Sherry's saying, but I don't think Doug was wrong, in my opinion.
209 says a blue-collar mindset.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think, Mayor of the City of Trees? Or honorary commissioner, at least?
Yeah, commissioner, not mayor. That's Kevin McCarty. I don't get paid that type of check.
All right.
Yeah. I think there is a message, an essence of what he was trying to say is kind of what you said, Whitey, not to, repeat the same situation. It's not blue collar. It's hard working.
Yeah.
It's tough minded.
Yeah. Okay.
It's, it's always us against everybody against us.
Yeah.
That's kind of how Sacramento feels. And for a long time, early on, and this dives into politics, Sacramento has always kind of looked at themselves in the mirror of, are we going to be rural forever, family town? This is a great part to raise your family, or is this going to turn into an urban community, a metroplex? Like Sherry said, having, bigger and finer things, having certain big, arenas and stadiums and casinos and all those type of things that come along with being a metroplex. And so Sacramento's always fought that. Just look at the mayoral race. You see Kevin Johnson, guys like that pushing, street nights and vendor nights. And then you see people like Fargo or somebody, let's keep it small.
Keep it a small town.
Yeah. So
Sacramento's roots are more rural, blue collar. And I think
not blue collar, though. I don't think it's blue collar. Like, I get what Sherry is saying. Blue collar kind of feels like Pittsburgh, West Virginia, coming from the mills and the factories. I don't think Sacramento's built on a blue collar situation. I think it's a essence of blue collar, but it's more tough minded.
Okay. Yeah. What else do you say? Loyal and hardworking.
Yeah. Definitely. Because the Bay has thumbed their nose down in Sacramento for a long time.
Forever.
You're not us, and LA is like, oh, we have no clue why you're the capital. You get that. Like when I lived in LA, everybody always talked about that. So it's kind of a complex. Like Sacramento, people outside of Sacramento feel like Sacramento has a complex where it's like, nah, we us. We do us.
Right.
We do we.
I still think there's a blue collar element there. I'll have to do more research on that. But the mindset is there. Yeah. Thank you, Sherry, for the call.
Sherry was hot on that.
Yeah, she's like, Doug's
get it right.
Doug,
Get it right.
She was laughing.
Ain't no factories out here. That's what she said. Ain't no factories in here. No meals.
Last night was a great night for the NBA because they got that game 7, the Clippers and the Nuggets, and they also got the Knicks advancing. They got a great game, and they got the Knicks advancing.
Nah, Whitey.
You don't think the NBA is happy that the Knicks advanced?
Yeah, but I think they'd probably rather have them advance after a game 7 in New York.
Well, sure, but they would not want that if Detroit beat them.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I agree.
They just lost your favorite team, the Lakers.
Yeah, they lost the Lakers. You know, your favorite team, the Warriors, still available though, still alive, right?
Yeah, they got a big game tonight.
Yeah. No, your squad, the Warriors. So, you know, I know you got Draymond jersey at home, but yeah, I mean, it was nice.
Quentin Post.
Quentin Post. He would be your kind of guy. That bum. Quentin Post a bum. No, I'm messing with you, Quinn. BC product. Shout out Boston College.
Yeah.
You know, but yes, the NBA won, but the rest of us lost. The longer the Knicks stick around, the more we got to hear of Stephen A. and Mike Greenberg.
Well, they ain't going to be around long, so, right?
Celtics going to get them?
Yeah.
My son Nick says Celtics in 5. He said,
Yeah.
Dad, they've beaten the Knicks by 16 points per game every game.
But that's another victory for the NBA that they've got that ancient rivalry renewed.
Right.
Boston and the Knicks.
It could be over quickly, though.
Yeah, I think so.
Celtics might smack them up. Yeah, I just, you know, I did the D list the other day. The Knicks just bother me. And it's crazy because I was a Patrick Ewing fan.
Really?
I love Patrick growing up. Carmelo Anthony. Love Carmelo Anthony. But this iteration of the Knicks, something that just rubs me the wrong way. And this might not even, Brunson.
You don't like Brunson? What a shot last night.
Great shot.
Oh, then Beasley had it. They had
a
perfect shot. Fumbled it out of bounds.
Beasley. Yeah. He pulled a Gary Trent Jr.
I know a lot of people were angry with him because he called himself after the game the greatest shooter in the world. But I read the whole quote, and I think he was just kind of venting. He said, "We got Oscar Thompson. He's the greatest defender in the world, and he wanted another shot, and then I got the ball, and I'm the greatest shooter in the world." I don't think he was really talking so much about himself as he was about his team, and he had to be very distraught there,
dude. I'm watching him after that happens, and I'm like, how do you just not crumble to the floor and cry? How do you still dap people up, shake hands?
Cade made a great play on that with the read. I'm like, all right, I got a great shooter there, wide open. Here we go.
Catch and shoot. Oh my gosh. And when he fumbled it, I'm like, oh my, like as your teammate, how do you even look at him afterwards? It's your guy, but they say one play doesn't cost the team a game, but damn.
I know.
How do you?
Yeah. That's how we go. Hey, Cade, my bad.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. And then they obviously could get another game 7, depending on what happens tonight. In San Francisco.
The dentist office. It'll be, about mid decibels out there. I give the Rockets a shot tonight, Whitey.
I do too.
Do you really?
Oh, absolutely.
Are we playing Mix 96 back there?
I know, right?
You got okay, the first game there with no Jimmy and Houston, they just weren't ready to play.
Yeah.
And then they also lost the other game there when if they made their free throws, they win that game.
So Houston's played.
Yeah, it's not like, oh man, they don't have a way to win this game.
They don't belong on the floor with them or anything like that.
And I think the Warriors know that.
I think so too. And I believe I don't want to say figured out how to guard Steph Curry, but they do a hell of a job on Steph. And so this game may come down to the health of a Jimmy Butler or the Post of the world, the Pajemskis of the world. Can they elevate? Because I feel like the Rockets have done a good job on Steph Curry the last couple of games.
Could also come down to how closely the officials decide to protect number 30.
Yeah, who's on the officiating crew tonight? I've got it right here. Hopefully the internet moves quicker than it did the other day.
It's fine. I saw somebody on social media suggesting that Dylan Brooks was really dumb for basically admitting that he's going for Steph's thumb because he said, now you give the officials an excuse. If you just say, no, I don't, I'm just playing ball.
I was thinking, though, Whitey, how do you even make that call? How can you even really see it that quick You know what I mean?
I do.
That got to be a tough foul call to
It
actually call.
It is legal. It's
Right,
not like they're
right.
letting him get away with something unless he's, winding up or something.
Right. I don't even know how you adjudicate that, to be honest with you. Because it happens so quickly, bang, bang, and we're talking hands and fingers.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like it's, a chest to chest or anything. How do you see that in that quick of a moment?
I don't know that you do. Maybe they just keep a closer eye on him. But how long before we have at least a scuffle tonight? First quarter? Second quarter?
First quarter. I say 5 minutes left in the first quarter. I'm calling
okay.
it. Yeah. James Capers, Mitchell Irvin, JB DeRosa. Solid officials. The extender isn't there, anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Scott Foster, shout out to Scott. Hope he gets better. But those officials, no Tony Brothers or anything like that. So those are solid officials.
I think if Houston finds a way to win tonight, and yes, I'm rooting for the Warriors, okay? If Houston wins tonight.
Say that again. You really are rooting for the Warriors.
I don't like the Rockets at all. But if the Rockets win tonight, I think the Warriors are in deep trouble. They've got to go back there for Game 7.
Houston. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're in deep trouble.
I agree with you. I agree. So go Rockets tonight.
Go home. Go home, Rockets. We have a world's strongest man competitor coming up. Evans Nana Aryi. Is that how we say his name?
Call him Evans Nana. He goes by.
Yeah.
Challenge him, Drapes. Coming up next. Challenge him.
I might.
Belgian strongman. This he's the Belgian Hulk. Evans the Hulk, they call him.
Yeah.
And we got the world's strongest man competition coming to Sacramento, 15th through the 18th. So we'll talk to Evans Nana, the Hulk from Belgium, next on Sacktown Sports.
Stay up to date on Sacramento sports. Join the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit sacktownsports.com.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your boat, boat wins.
What are you going to do? Take the boat out for a spin or go mail something? Boat wins! Are we cleaning the patio or taking the boat out fishing? Boat wins! Are we skipping that eye exam to go sailing? Boat wins!
Rescheduling eye exams can be a nightmare.
All right, fine. Eye exam, then boat. Yeah!
With Progressive, you can bundle your boat with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings on your boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states and situations.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot doot, and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh yeah.
Then we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khdk.com. Hey, Marvel fans, get ready for the next heroes to hit the largest screen in Sacramento with Thunderbolts, the IMAX experience, playing this week at the Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown.
You thought you were going to be some great saviors? You can't even save yourself.
Filmed for IMAX, the best place to immerse yourself in Marvel's Thunderbolts is on the Esquire IMAX 6-story screen and thunderous sound system. Get your reserved seats today at imax.com/Sacramento. Thunderbolts, playing this week at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
River Cats baseball is back, and the Cats Pass is your ticket to every home game of the 2025 season. With unbeatable value, guest add-ons, and more, secure your season-long Cats Pass with the Sacramento River Cats at rivercats.com.
With Progressive's collision coverage, my family gets up to $1,000 for vet bills if I'm injured in a car accident. And that makes this Chihuahua really feel like part of the family. What's that? I don't sound like a Chihuahua? Oh, I'm sorry. What exactly am I supposed to sound like? I guess all Chihuahuas are high-strung, riding around in expensive designer purses. Actually, I prefer riding in cars. So I appreciate that my family protects me with Progressive's pet collision coverage. Okay, maybe I am a little high-strung. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and is subject to policy terms.
This is Secret Clinical dominating extra stinky stress sweat. And this is regular deodorant. Secret Clinical in a heat wave. Oh, what a beautiful day. This is regular deodorant. Ugh, I can't. Secret Clinical with workout sweat. Let's run another marathon. And regular deodorant. How much more? Secret is the GOAT because nothing fights sweat better. Stay fresher under pressure.
Whitey here with another great grilling tip. The Napoleon Stainless Steel Prestige 500 Connected Propane Grill with infrared side and rear burner featuring Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity brings you closer to your grilling experience than ever before. The Napoleon Connected lets you monitor temperatures, set timers, and receive high temp warnings. Boop, boop. All from your smartphone with temperature probes and LCD display. Always know exactly what's happening inside your grill. Napoleon's LED control knobs even illuminate for nighttime entertaining and feature safety. Napoleon grills, simply the best.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
World's Strongest Man competition coming to Old Town Sacramento, May 15th through the 18th.
Hey.
I haven't been officially invited to compete yet, Drapes. I don't know about you. We had the organizer on NFL Draft Day. I let it be known I was available, but I haven't heard yet.
It might have been lost in the mail.
Maybe
Look to your spam folder.
Yeah, maybe
or something like that.
Our next guest is definitely competing. He's from Belgium by way of his native Ghana. He's known as Evans the Hulk. I have him at 6'1", 295. Evans Nana with us. How are you today, Evans?
I'm feeling amazing. Everything is good. How are you?
We're fine. We're very good. Thank you very much for your time. This is World's Strongest Man competition. It's kind of off the beaten path. How did you realize it was for you, Evans?
Yeah, so basically moving over to Belgium was a really hard transition, and I didn't have any friends and everything. And a friend of mine who is Belgian introduced me to powerlifting. So it was just like a normal gym journey, and that's when everything started, because I didn't even know I was that strong. He always believed in me, and he kept pushing me, breaking my boundaries. So that's where I transitioned to Strongman specifically during COVID. So that's where everything started. I had my first competition after COVID, podiumed, and then I realized, this could be something for me. So that's where everything became magical and beautiful and epic. So that's how we began doing Strongman.
Yeah. Okay. Evans, take me through, just your workout routine. How do you train for a world? Is it just pumping iron? Is it diet? Like, take me through that.
So to be a strongman it comes down to a lot of things. Of course, food is very important. Training in the gym is very important, but then sleep as well. It also comes down to the psychological, trip of the whole journey, because we have a common saying: you become stronger in your mind before you become stronger physically. So I do have a team of which consists of a psychologist that kind of like trains me through each and every aspect. Because then again, to be an athlete, strongman is a professional sport. At the level I do. So you need to like have sessions where you get to kind of like have sort of affirmations, not in a way of affirmations, but then prepare yourself for whatever it is. Because before you lift the 500 kilos, for example, you need to see yourself lifting this weight out of yourself, out of your body before it happens. So then again, I would call it a mental diet. So then again, it comes down to that. Sleep, nutrition, environment really matters, because Strongman is not very popular in Belgium. So we had to build a gym from scratch, consisting of like-minded people that kind of push through. So I'm really grateful to these individuals and this environment I have, like pushing me through my limits and actually like helping me realize this goal. So food is very important. So on an average day, I wake up with like 8 to 6 eggs, depending on how I'm feeling. Moving on to like rice and chicken with prescribed grams, of course. Then you have a snack, which could consist of a protein shake with, let's say, some waffles. Waffles is pretty famous in Belgium. So I could have
some waffles. There you go. Yes, I was going to ask you.
So then again, you could have, let's say, waffles get in, and then you could have some, let's say, pasta, which is carbs, pure carbs, which helps you for power generation. And then after training, that's where carbs kind of like dial down. So then you could have, let's say, more protein. That's what he gives me. More protein. That could be a protein shake, a steak. And then I could have yogurt, specific kgs of yogurt. Yeah, some blueberries.
Waffles are done there, it sounds like.
Waffles are very, very important.
Evans Nana's with us. He's going to be in the World's Strongest Man competition. How much energy do you get when you're competing in front of a crowd? I know we're expecting big crowds here in Old Town Sac. I know you do a lot of training. What's it like when you're performing, if you will, in front of a crowd? How much energy does that give you?
It is a big privilege to be on the stage because then again, as a kid, I never did anything in sports. You know, I was just I have an academic background in as a accountant, so seeing people happy and people kind of dial into what strength is, it pushes me personally. It makes me go crazy, if I would put it that way. It makes me go extra harder because sports and strongman being a sport is something people are supposed to enjoy. It's more than lifting weights. It's more than slamming down weights. It is a sort of like giving people happiness. It's an impact, you know, you kind of make to people, and seeing people cheer on for you, seeing people happy, seeing the expressions, trust me, pushes you to do more. You feel like running through a wall. That's the feeling I have, and the excitement, energy. It's more than a sport, man. It's sort of like communication. People.
Evans, hey, Evans, let me ask you this, man. You're a little younger than I am. I'm 50 years old. I see you're 27. But, you know, coming up, 30 years ago, I was always interested in Magnus Ver Magnuson. Remember that?
Yes,
remember him? Remember Magnus Ver? Is he still the gold standard? Is he like the GOAT of strongman?
Believe me, Magnus is like one of the best because he's won it 4 times. And he did it in his first year. It's so crazy because he was not the biggest, of course, but he was like really technical. I do look up to him. I was in Iceland a few months ago for the Magnus Classic. That's like one of the biggest strongman competition that happens at the end of each year. So having the privilege to do this, you know, to be one of the first from like Ghana to represent in this competition was everything. Magnus is a very good man, and I think he's going to be the head ref at World's Strongest Man. Yeah, he is the head ref.
So he'll be in Sacramento?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Is going to be around. He's coming in.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Everything has been coordinated properly, and he's literally the GOAT of strongman. He knows a lot. He's been there, he's done that, and it's, he's still helping grow the sport. It's beautiful.
He's the GOAT.
Dude, sign me up. I'm there. I'm in the building. I'm there. Wow.
Evans, when you look at all of the, and I know I'm using the wrong term, but the feats that you perform in the competition, which of them is your favorite to perform? Is it I heard it's a yoke for you.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not really heavy. I'm pretty athletic. I got to tap into that, eventually, because we have 2 types of strongmen, I would call it. You either need to be statically strong, brutally. So what I mean statically strong is being able to like have brutal power to like just say overhead press. You got Mark Henry, who has insane feat of strength. The guy is able to like, let's say, overhead press tons. And I don't know if you know Aaron Bibi. He's from Burkina Faso. He has the overhead world record, which was recently taken down by Mitchell Hooper. But you being able to be statically strong requires you to be very like heavy in body weight. It goes up to 200 kilos, Eddie Hall, half tall. So with a guy like me, pretty stout, weighing 150 kilos, I got to be 134 kilos. I got to be really faster, on certain things. So that's why I found my energy driving into like moving stuff from point to be very fast, and that's my competitive advantage. Basically, with the bigger guys who really have brutal power and brutal strength.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Me too. Yeah.
That's dope.
Hey, Evans, can you just talk about what World's Strongest Man and the competition has done for you, for you personally in your life, and, the places you've been and the things you've seen in your life?
So I happen to do Strongman Champions League, and that's like a competition which is also held around, most part of the world. So I'm in the Scandinavia, sometimes go to even South Africa, sometimes certain part of Europe I never thought I'd be in. Strongman has helped me connect. Strongman has helped me be able to reassess. Strongman has helped me think through what I want to be, what I want to do. Because the world is a bigger stage, and sports is one of the things that unite people. It brings people together. Let's not forget strongman. It's a sports, It is more than slumming weights. It's the way people communicate to each other. It's a sort of communication that doesn't need any language, you know. People jump on board based on your energy, you know, you give them. And you also, as an athlete, get to feed off from that energy. I mean, it has done a lot for me. I've been able to realize what I want to do, my purpose. In the future, I want to really grow the sports in Ghana because Ghana happens to be a third world country. That's my motherland. And then I do believe Ghana has a massive, massive skill set of like strength. Because growing up in Ghana, I saw people literally, carry like 5-6 bags of cement. That weighs like, I think, 50 kilos per bag. They had to do this to survive, basically. So, imagining this feat of strength being channeled professionally. Looking at MMA, you have Francis Ngannou that came from Cameroon, like doing amazing, literally kicking ass. And that's something he realized he could tap into. So this is one of my goals. After like being able to represent Ghana, being the first athlete, I want to be able to grow the sport. I want to be able to like give back in a way and make, in fact, Africans realize there is a sport called Strongman, because Strongman has been existing since 1977. That's the fun fact. So it's been there for a long time, yeah? It's here today.
Yeah.
It's getting bigger and better, actually.
Yeah. The World's Strongest Man competition, May 15th through the 18th in Old Town here in Sacramento. This is our guy. This is a winner.
Is that where we're going?
We going with Evans to get this thing there? Okay.
Don't forget, guys, I'm coming in really hot. I'm coming with the energy and the vibes. Man, I love the sports. This is what really gives me life. Like I said, it is more than sports. It's more than lifting weights. Trust me, if you show up, you're never going to leave the same. You're going to feel like electrified. See crazy feats of strength you've never ever witnessed before. It comes down to that here, guys. You need to show up.
All right.
I'm going to be there, Evans. I'm bringing the kids, too. I'm bringing the kids, too.
Evans. Yeah. We'll see you there.
It's something for kids as well, not only for adults, yeah? Believe in me, it's you're going to enjoy it. You're going to enjoy it. Just get ready, guys. Trust me, man.
Okay.
We will. You get ready. You get ready, and we'll see you soon. And we appreciate your time very much, Evans. Thank you for joining us.
Let's go.
All right, Evans. Yes, sir. All right, now. Jay, I got to be there.
You already tied in, man.
Am I already tapped in?
You already tapped in.
Okay, good.
You and me.
All right, good. I'm there. Dude, why not? Like, I'm pumped up.
Mm-hmm.
Magnus is going to be there. You remember that name, Magnus, Barrett Magnus.
I remember you just said it.
I say that to my kids like once a month. I bring up Magnus. They're like, "Who's Magnus?" And I'm like, "You don't know Magnus?
Take him out. Bring him out.
They're coming. Yes.
I used to watch it every night, like at nighttime. Used to come on at night. Man, I love the World's Strongest Man competition.
When we come back, what Scott Perry says his year one is all about on a Friday. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports next.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com. Sacramento, get ready. The Sacktown Sports Live events calendar is packed with epic shows you won't want to miss. Classic rock bands, America takes the stage at Hard Rock Live Sacramento on May 9th. Then hip-hop legend LL Cool J brings the beats to Thunder Valley on May 10th. The Outlaw Music Festival rolls into Toyota Amphitheater on May 18th. And punk pioneers The Dam hit Ace of Spades on May 31st. June heats up with JJ Gray and Mofro at Ace of Spades on June 10th. Plus, country superstars Lee Brice and Walker Hayes at Ironstone Amphitheater on June 21st. Then it's 3 days of country fun at the Country Summer Music Festival at Sonoma County Fairgrounds on June 27th through the 29th. Get your boots ready for the Folsom Pro Rodeo July 3rd through 5th. Then catch Cody Johnson at Golden One Center on July 18th and Parker McCollum at Ironstone Amphitheater on August 16th. Mark your calendars, grab your tickets, and don't miss out. Find all the details at sacktownsports.com.
It's Carmichael Dave talking to you about my good friends at American Energy. You're in the Sacramento area. You know how the seasons work. They are a-changing right now. So American Energy wants to help you stay warm for the rest of the cold season, but help you stay cool during the warm season. Best way to do that, make sure your system is operating safely. So right now is the time to take advantage of half off a tune-up, $24.50. They cut that right in half, and if you want a diagnostic, guess what? You can't beat free. If it's free, it's me, and now it can be you. And also, it's the end of the season blowout. $4,000 off a new system plus any rebates. That $4,000, that's a direct drop from the sticker price. It's a great deal. Check them out at theaeway.com or an instant quote, or give them a call at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Tell them your good buddy Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/SacktownSports1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
No breezy today, but starting to heat up in the River City. I have to laugh at this. Listen to my guy, Alan Stiles, today, of course. He did a great job with the Doug Christie interview. And Alan Stiles is my guy. But he was talking today as I was driving in and listening. He said, people warned me to watch out for that Sacramento heat. And he says, I grew up in the hot weather. I grew up in Concord. I was like, I mean, I think it's warm there, but
right.
That's not the Sacramento heat.
Sacramento heat is maybe only rivaled by Arizona heat.
Maybe.
In the country. Right?
Yeah.
Man.
But you know, Alan, he stays cool no matter what.
Right.
Did a good job with Doug Christie today.
Hey, I didn't get there. I got to go check it out. I'm sure they got it up on YouTube.
He, give him a lot of credit. He asked Doug a question that had a little bit of a point to it. He asked him about Sam Amick's story that he shared on Carmichael Dave's show this week that, when Doug Christie came in, players were saying, oh, this is great. We don't practice as much.
Yeah,
By the end of the year, according to this story, some of those same players are going, we don't practice as much.
Mm-hmm.
We need to practice more. And so Alan asked Doug about that. Doug basically said, well, first of all, whoever says that needs to say it to my face. But he also says we were at that time we won 7 of our first 8 games or something. So what are we talking about? I'm not worried about it.
Yeah. No, good stuff. I got to check it out.
Mm-hmm. That would be sacktownsports.com. But it was a very interesting press conference today. Parts of it were pretty standard, of course, and parts of it were congratulations, Doug Christie, which, he deserves. And a lot of it was the organization just saying, look at us. We have our house in order. Everything's going great. The most interesting thing to me was when Scott Perry talked about what year one is all about. Not going to skip steps. This year's about establishing an identity, which makes sense. Well said. The question then is he indicating that maybe the next year there will be more of an emphasis on getting everything on track and less of an emphasis, as there's been the last few years, on just getting to the playoffs? I don't know, but his statement opens the door to speculation on that.
Yeah, it's and I heard that quote. I was there listening to it, and I think listening to that, they're trying to temper expectations.
Yeah,
too. It's not going to be a quick fix, ladies and gentlemen.
Right,
it's not going to happen overnight. We're going to do our due diligence and go through the process, if you will. And so, which I'm okay, because and I said this last week when he had his press conference talking about Scott Perry. He didn't come in here trying to sell us on a vision or a dream or, we're going to get this right. We're going to turn it around. He was very matter of fact about it.
Yeah. Sustained winning.
Sustained
he didn't say,
winning.
We're going to be in the playoffs every year.
Right,
We're going to win. He didn't even say, we're going to win a championship.
Didn't even say that. It's not a carnival barker out there or anything like that. And I think that's what we need. And, I go back to when he was here in 2017. Everything you hear from people is that, he's a stabilizing force, sort of a grown up in the room, and I think that's what we need right now.
Mm-hmm.
We need, a one voice where we know, what, that's Scott. Scott's in charge, and hopefully, as we go forward here this off season and into the season, every move we make, we know Scott Perry is behind it. Like, the talk with Monty is, he didn't like this guy, didn't like that guy. The owner forced it on him. That's not a way to do business. I don't want to hear any of that talk when it comes to Scott Perry, because he's accomplished enough to come in here and be able to call the shots.
Yeah, when he said there are no shortcuts, music to my ears, because we know the Kings in the past, like a lot of NBA teams, have been guilty of trying that. It's so funny because teams, they see other teams try it and fail, but they still think, and I'm thinking of the Suns here, and you brought them up earlier. Phoenix, like, watch me. I'm at Ishbia. I played basketball, and I've got a lot of money. I'll show you how easy it is. And it has not been easy. It has not worked for them.
Right.
So if the Kings are really focusing on developing something, Kings fans have been as patient as any fans in the NBA, but just a sense of direction, as we said earlier, would be such a relief over the last 2 years, which have been so dreary.
Yeah. Do you think it depends on, I guess, the segment of the population, because you got some Kings fans who say tank, rebuild, tear it down. Do you think the majority of Kings fans can be patient right now, or do they want it, this off season, playoffs this upcoming season?
I think that if they get a sense that this is what we're trying to do and this is how we're doing it, then it's easier to be patient with that than, what we've seen the last few years, which is kind of, we're going to figure something out and win now. I just sensed, we talked a lot about this year, Kings fans were divided this year. And I think they were divided because they were winning relative to what they'd done in the past. They won 40 games by King standards. That's not bad. But yet there were so many fans that were dissatisfied. And I think because so many of them could see, maybe playing, but this isn't really going anywhere. So Scott Perry can come in, and I think he's already made a little bit of headway there with Doug Christie and show people that, okay, I mean, a total teardown is a different thing. But if it's we're making this move, that move, because we're trying to build something, I think fans could get behind that, and I expect they will.
No, I think so. And to your point, if fans can see the pathway forward, can see the vision, they'll be behind it. And, I don't know. Can the vibes get much worse right now? Do you think? Because even if you make a big trade, but even if you make a big trade right now, it's being billed as we're trying to build something, we're trying to, and so
I think, again, it just depends on how clear the direction is. If you, let's say you send off a big name or two, what are you getting back and why? And if you can sell people on that, I think fans are willing to listen to that. Like you said, there's a lot of fans, maybe more than the Kings have ever had in Sacramento, who've been saying, tear the whole thing down.
Right. Yeah, which is, it's, but that's the thing. We can't stomach that, supposedly, but yet I think what needs to happen, we're not in the tear it down, but we're not either also in the go all in, whatever it takes to compete and win a championship this season.
Right.
We're not in that camp either.
Right.
We somewhere in the middle there.
Yeah. Yeah. But anything's better than we're all in on being the 9th seed.
Right.
That's like,
right.
That's what fans grew weary with. That's where they lost their patience. As Razor Rudy says, Kings fans, quote, patience is our middle name, end quote. I get the sense sometimes that Monty, he accomplished what he was, the job that he was assigned, which was make the playoffs. They did that.
Right.
They broke that streak. It's just after they did that drought, that's where the organization and basketball ops had a hard time finding their footing and their sense of direction.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
No, you're right.
But if this was a team that basically was built, this team is built to break that drought, then they do. And then it's like, okay, now what? Yeah.
Somebody brings up something on the YouTube chat. Just make top 6 seed next season. That's big goal. In the West, Whitey.
That would be huge.
But is it really attainable? That's what I'm worried about.
It doesn't look like it.
Right. And even if you aren't, like, I'm looking at Golden State. They didn't finish top 6 in the West. But they still they're in the playoffs, a chance to close out tonight. So I don't think top 6 in the West will determine whether or not it's a successful season this upcoming season.
Although we can agree, if they did do that, it definitely would
it'd be great,
Yeah.
right? But if they didn't, it's a terrible season.
Right.
Like if you're 7, win a home playing game, and I think getting into the top 8 when it's all said and done should be the key, the goal for Sacramento this upcoming season.
They haven't done it the last 2 years.
Right. And that's the thing. We need playoff basketball here. And when I say the goal being top 8, that don't mean whatever it takes to get there, do. No. With this current roster, with adding a point guard, Doug as coach, Scott as GM, top 8 should be the minimum for this team, I think. That's attainable now.
Yeah, we'll come back with a look at what the Kings should do with Keegan next on Sacktown Sports.
Are you tired of your tee shots ending up in the adjoining fairway while the rest of your foursome is hitting it down the middle? Well, experts will tell you that being properly fitted for golf clubs will help you strike your drive center cut. The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio and its team of trained PGA professionals are ready to help you get rid of your banana balls and duck hooks. Hagen Oaks Indoor-Outdoor Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, when the A's beat the Rangers in Arlington to kick off the most recent road trip, with J.P. Sears getting his 4th win, the A's improved to 15-14, the latest in a season they've been over 500 since 2021. Can they contend this year? Well, as we close the book on April, the American League West is the tightest division in baseball. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
Only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
As the playoffs rage on, Drapes, I thought Denver was pretty good, but the Clips were just better. I agree. That's kind of what J.J. Redick said about the Minnesota series. He said, sometimes you got to tip your cap. We don't want to admit it, but we lost to a better team. That's, Minnesota. Yeah. Much better than the Lakers, although now there's all this talk about. You're Jay Williams talking about Lucas. He's got the body of a 40-year-old.
Dang. He's saying that. I didn't hear that.
Jay seems like he's a big J.J. Redick guy.
Duke guy, right? Yeah.
But anyway, last night, I don't know if you saw much of that game. Denver did some nice things, and they hung around, but the Clippers just, backs against the wall and all that. That's going to be a great Game 7, I think.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. I did not get a chance to watch that one closely last night. I had it on in the background, but was doing some other stuff. But no, that's going to be, dude, somebody's going to be out. And if you're the Clippers, you lose that game, which is very much a possibility.
Absolutely.
Where do you go from there? Harden's not getting younger. Kawhi healthy, when it matters most, and you still didn't get out of the first round. Maybe there's some pieces there, Whitey.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe there's Derek Jones Jr. Interest you at all?
Yes.
Norman Powell. I'm just throwing names out there. I'm just saying,
But that also circles back to what we were just saying based on the message we got about, if the Kings can make the top 6. It's hard to see that happening from where we are right now.
It really is. I mean, Memphis, we just talking about it off air. Memphis won 48 games.
Yeah.
And they were in the 8th seed. Like, that's tough, man.
They got dispatched in a hurry.
Quickly, with the quickness. And I'm looking at the West. Spurs are coming, ladies and gentlemen. Spurs are going to be a team to be reckoned with. Dallas with AD and maybe Kyrie coming back mid-year. Like, it's going to be tough, man. Who's going to drop down? Can't see Minnesota dropping. OKC ain't dropping. Maybe the Lakers. I don't know. Where's the path to a top 6, Sacramento?
Woo! It's tough.
But you know, and this is what I don't think top 6. If you don't get it, it's a horrible season. As long as you make the playoffs, I think that's a good season for Sacramento.
Sure.
A good first season for Doug and Scott Perry.
Remember season before this last one, but some people were saying
46 wins.
If you don't get into the second round, the season's a failure.
Right.
So
I was one of them.
I know.
I was one of them.
So expectations were that's how high they were just a short time ago.
Right. And even going into this season, I was bullish on this team even this season, and they underachieved. How about this? Just do at least the minimum of what you're supposed to do. So when we talk about expectations, I had high expectations this season. They underachieved. Last season, people had high expectations. They underachieved. Do we go in with low expectations this upcoming season so that they can overachieve? Like, what's the proper expectation? And we'll talk about this throughout the offseason, I guess. What are proper expectations for this Sacramento Kings team?
Yeah, it depends what they do this offseason, obviously.
I'll tell you what, though, Whitey. I'm going to say
– you saying you want to run it back?
No.
Your team underachieved? Run it back?
I'm saying this. No matter what our expectations are, outside of health, ain't no excuses. I don't want to hear, Doug's a first-year head coach. Got to get a roster time to gel.
It's year one, Trey.
Nope. Unless you redo the whole roster. But then you redo the whole roster and you think you're going to be better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they make improvements to the roster, it should be acceptable to expect better things and bigger than the 9 seed. I'll tell you that.
One thing I think the Kings have to do is make up their mind what they want Keegan to be. If they want Keegan to be what he's been, that would be a shame, but okay. But he can be so much more, but they have to give him a chance to be that.
100%
offensively.
100%. But
you have to give him that option.
Come on, what are you talking about? How do we do that then, big fella?
Well, you have to make
you gotta
moves
clean
with the
up.
roster.
Right.
Got to make more shots available to him.
I agree. I'm at that point where, dog, this is year 4 for Keegan. We're going in. I need to see what we have in this kid. We know what we got defensively from him.
His usage rate was the lowest since his second season in the NBA.
Dude, that was just from the season before. Who wrote that? like he got a 20-year career.
Hopefully no one noticed.
Right? It's like, dude, it was year 3. What site you on there, man? Which article
Well,
you got
this is
there?
a good site. I may have taken some out of context.
Oh, all right.
This is from the Kings Herald, and they're quoting some numbers from Cleaning the Glass. So that's on me, not on them.
No, but they can't phrase it like that. But back to our main point. What do we get? Who is Keegan Murray at his best? And this is something I said earlier. We don't maximize.
By the way, I think it was Sabonis that they're talking about with his lower usage rate. So
all right. I thought you.
That's what I meant, but I think I misread it there. Yeah.
All right. Okay. No, but we're asking Keegan to sacrifice his offensive game to fit in. Dude, we're not good enough to ask anybody to sacrifice anything.
Right.
Like, and he's the number 4 overall pick. Did we make a mistake? I don't want to say not building, but not giving him the opportunity to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Be the guy.
Back to his usage rate. All the way down to the 19th percentile. Points per shot attempt declined from 72nd percentile his first season to 50 percentile second season to 41st this season.
Damn.
Yeah. And you look at all the defensive metrics, which is not a lot of fun, so we'll spare you all the details, but they're very good individually and for the team. But if you have a guy that talented who set the record for threes in his rookie year and you're not going to make him part of the offense, whose fault is that?
Right. Whose fault is that? And I'll go back to the conversation we had about team identity and what Doug and Scott are looking for. Because I see what Yellow Vision said in the YouTube chat. Murray can go. I actually believe Keegan Murray has a little bit of that identity we're seeking inside of him.
I do too.
He showed me something the second half of this season when everything was crumbling to pieces, when the organization was in turmoil, when we were getting blown out, guys were laying down like dogs and letting the opponent do whatever, I saw a competitor in Keegan Murray.
Yeah.
That's what I
Chase
need.
down blocks.
Anthony Davis, he's blocking. Like, and that's why I think we may have to take the change, let the leash off this guy and let him run wild a little bit. Let him get in his bag. Let him do his thing. Expect more. Ask more from Keegan Murray this season.
He said, obviously, I've had to fill different roles within the team. Now that I think about it every year, with me, I think eventually it'll pay off. I know that eventually good things are going to happen, things that I'm not worried about anything. I know my time is going to come. And whether it's next year or a couple of years after, I know eventually it'll be my time. The Kings need to make it his time. For their sake, as well as his.
Well, here's the thing, Whitey, and I 100% agree with you on that. Keegan Murray is in danger of becoming, and it's not a knock, this is a good player, the guy we just mentioned earlier, Michael Porter Jr., which is fine. But Michael Porter Jr. plays with Jokic, Jamal Murray. In that system, with that, he's only going to be at best the number 3 option, maybe the number 4. Wouldn't it be nice to see if Keegan could be maybe a number 2 option? Maybe a number 3? We haven't even asked him to be a number 3 option yet, White.
I know.
With everybody we've had.
There you go.
You know?
Yeah.
So we got to get this guy some touches. We got to run some offense through him. And I'm interested to see how Doug approaches it, who he hires on his staff. What's their view of Keegan? Do they feel how we feel? Do they feel how you feel? Or do they feel how Yellow Vision feels?
And I think if you are talking about building a culture based on all the things that Scott Perry talked about today, a defensive presence, selfless approach at the offensive end, Keegan's still a guy that can be a piece that you can build. I'm not saying you build a whole team around him. He's going to be a great player, but he is a building block for you that you can use as going forward. But you have to give him a chance to show that he can do that.
At worst, I view Keegan Murray as Michael Porter Jr. At worst, at minimum,
better defender.
Yes, and even a better defender.
Yeah.
So, like, if he reaches Michael Porter Jr. level, that's solid. But he can exceed that, like you said, because he plays on the other end. Who's a good comp? Aaron Gordon?
Well, Aaron Gordon's just so much bigger.
So much
He's a
bigger.
legit 4.
Who's that? OG Anunoby?
Maybe if Keegan became everything he could be. That's why I keep going back to Sean Elliott. And I know he's not playing now, but that's my
Sean
comp.
a defender, though?
Well, I think, remember, we talked to Sean about that, and I think he said Keegan's a better defender than I was.
Yeah.
But again, you're doing yourself a disservice as well as him. But that's going to be, I think, one of the crucial decisions this year. Because if you're still focusing on we got to win now, then trade Keegan, get something that can help us now. But if you're actually trying to build something, and I believe Scott Perry when he says they are, then you probably need to figure out how Keegan can help you do that, because he can.
You know who Keegan is, Whitey. And I'm not saying he's going to be this player or is this player or is going to have the career of this player. Keegan Murray is James Harden in OKC. It took James Harden to leave to fully, I'm not saying he's going to be, they don't have comparable games, nothing. But in terms of I'm playing behind a couple of stars, I'm the 3rd, 4th option. Harden had to go, let his wings spread out and fly. That's how I view Keegan.
See, and Keegan knows it. Like I said, I know my time's going to come, whether it's next year or a couple of years after. I know eventually it'll be my time. Unspoken there, in my opinion, is the implication that maybe it's not here, but my time's coming, and the Kings can't allow him to find himself somewhere else.
Somebody from the 209 says 18, 7, and 2 for MJP. I think he meant MPJ.
Yeah.
Keegan ain't sniffing that. We don't think Keegan can get 18, 7, and 2?
I think he could.
You're right.
He hasn't done it.
Well, we know he can get the rebounds, right? The assist too is that's he can get that. 18 points? Didn't he? What did he average rookie year? 15. right? Or something like that. Was it 15?
I thought
or 14. I need to look it up.
Mm-hmm.
But like I think it was 15 because we talked about making a leap like Tatum and Stojakovic and everything like that.
I think he was like 12 to 15 the second year.
I thought he was around 12.
Or is it second year that he got 15?
Second year's 15.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got my years mixed up.
12.2, 15.2.
Oh, yeah, 15.
I'm like 12 to, he didn't average no 15. He had been rookie of the year almost.
Yeah, but he shot 41% from three.
But think about it. His second year, he averaged 15. You telling me 209 Stockton that he can't average 3 more points per game?
Field goal attempts that year where he averaged 15. Yeah, 13 a game. This year, 11 a game.
Come on, man. What are we talking about, Sacramento? Come on now.
And a much better defender.
Yeah. It's a big year for Keegan. Contract year,
right?
Extension eligible and all that.
Mm-hmm.
He got to go out there and get his money this year. Like, I need to see it on the court.
He's one of the few guys you have who actually guards people.
Right.
He can guard, not great. He can guard fives. And he says, I don't really like doing that.
Right.
But that's very valuable.
And you got some people that want to trade him.
Why?
One of your best off-ball defenders.
You got one sitting behind you.
Oh, shoot.
He
really?
just raised his hand when
he's like, that's me.
Yep.
Jay, you tripping.
When we come back, the Keegan conversation continues. And we remember Pop. Was Pop the best NBA coach ever? Next on Sacktown Sports.
You heard the news. Newsmax just went public on the New York Stock Exchange and listed on the big board. Millions of Americans like you are joining our news revolution. Reuters Institute says Newsmax is one of the top 12 news brands in America. Even President Trump says it's terrific. 40 million Americans go to Newsmax, and its audience grew 50% since the same time last year. Millions really are making the switch to Newsmax. If you want to be a Newsmax share owner, call your advisor or get more info at newsmaxinvest.com. Stand with Newsmax today for a strong America. This communication is for informational purposes only and shall not be intended to or shall not constitute any offer to buy or sell securities, nor shall there be any sale of securities in any jurisdiction in which such offer, solicitation, or sale would be unlawful.
Progressive knows when you're on your boat, you're already on vacation. And Vacation You forgets all your worries. Vacation You doesn't even keep track of time and knows that time is a meaningless construct designed to control us, man. But Regular You knows you don't want to be too far out in the water after the sun goes down because Vacation You doesn't know how to navigate in the dark yet. Vacation You and Regular You really need to get on the same page. So bundle your boat with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This is Secret Clinical dominating extra stinky stress sweat. And this is regular deodorant. Secret Clinical in a heat wave. Oh, what a beautiful day. This is regular deodorant. Ugh, I can't. Secret Clinical with workout sweat. Let's run another marathon. And regular deodorant. How much more? Secret is the GOAT because nothing fights sweat better. Stay fresher under pressure.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is only a few weeks away with Bailey Zimmerman. Nate Smith, Ernest, and more. Friday and Saturday, May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo. Don't miss pop-up stores, food trucks, line dancing, and more. Country in the Park, celebrating 25 years, May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Goldfield Trading Post, Java City, and Elemental Wine. Get tickets and more at CITPFest.com.
You've heard the saying, penny wise, pound foolish, right? It means you do something that will save you a little bit right now, just pennies, but that ends up costing you pounds in the end.
People put off tuning up their furnace because they don't want to take the time or spend the money to get it done.
But it only takes 90 minutes and costs just $87, which is just pennies compared to the huge problems and expenses that can rack up if you don't get your furnace tuned up.
You'll also save money on your energy bills, and your system will last longer.
So don't be penny wise and pound foolish. Call Bell Brothers for a precision tune-up and professional cleaning today.
Our number is 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The Bell Brothers.
Horse with no name. Drapes he had to grab something real quick. He'll be back. I know Imran Pilati's supposed to join us today. Jay, before we get into pop, I wanted to ask you, it's Friday. Nobody wants to fight on a Friday, but I just got to ask you because I know a lot of people feel the way you do. Why are you, we've had this discussion before, why are you willing to move off of Keegan?
America, horse with no name, 1971. You were right there. Should have had Drapes go first. Name it. What year did that happen?
Why are you so willing to move off of Keegan? And a lot of people are. That's why I'm asking you. I'm not trying to, antagonize you, but I know there's a lot of people that agree with you.
Yeah, for me, Whitey, it's this, and I'm a proponent. First of all, let me just make sure I clear it up, even though you heard it. We have new listeners every day, every hour, every minute. I would like the Kings to sign Keegan to a deal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, placeholder. Remember. Excuse me. I want him to be a placeholder. That $25 to $35 million placeholder.
So you don't lose that.
So you don't lose. Yeah. So that's first thing. What Drape's got?
DoorDash.
Oh, that's what he leaving the studio for, huh? Oh, okay.
I tell you what.
You get enough for everybody?
Nope.
Okay.
As I was coming back up to the studio, I was thinking, I'm all about endorsements, right, Whitey and Jay? Like, I'm always trying to get paid for something.
Yeah.
This is one company, and I ain't going to mention the company, but this is one company I would go all in for. And I'm not talking about DoorDash. I'm talking about this restaurant. This is probably my favorite place. I've probably been in this place more times than anywhere else since I moved to Sacramento.
Really?
Like, I'm single-handedly keeping them in business, perhaps. If ever I'm like, I don't know what to have for lunch. My spot, my guys and girls over at, I don't want to say that.
I gotta, during break, you gotta tell me what it is.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm interested.
And it ain't no, super flavorful mom and pop soul food or anything like that.
It's corporate. It's corporate.
Yeah,
but it's good enough to keep you going.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah.
No problem. No problem.
What you doing over there? Checking
the name of the place.
Checking that tap.
You gotta wait till the break. But I was thinking I need to text the sales crew and say this spot. It's kind of small though. I think they got 3 locations. I don't know if they're advertising.
That mean you gonna be the instead of the pizza guy, you're this guy.
I would literally do an endorsement just for like a meal a week.
Bartering.
Yeah. Let me get a couple gift cards. Something like that.
Something tells me that's not true.
This is my spot though. This is my spot.
And it's a corporate joint? It ain't like it ain't a hole in the wall. They, mom and pop privately owned.
No, it's a few of them. I think they got several of them actually. Jay,
why do you seen the bag? Are you second in this? Have you
I'm
visited
really not
that?
familiar. I have to admit.
Our locations. Here you go. They go out to Chico. They got 2 in Chico, Midtown Sacramento,
college kids,
Redding, and Rockland.
And they're going north, huh?
5 locations, I think it is. What are you
That's
doing,
interesting.
man?
I thought the bag said Roseville. No, it says reusable.
Reusable.
I was like, damn, they got
they got one in Roseville.
They got one
too.
They update their site. But yeah, so that's my spot. Man.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I'm not messing with your food. I just want to see where you got
the
it.
spot was.
I tell you what, and you guys know this. When you try to get endorsements, they want you to do spec spots and stuff like that. I think we just did one. Just tell them to clip that and send it in.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they're going to say, it'd be great if you could say the name.
Right?
Is that possible? Or
I forgot about that.
Sure.
Right? I forgot about
we
that.
can edit it, though. That's the power of editing.
Yeah,
See, I can make it sound like something, Drake.
We could do that. But yeah, I
Good
can't.
luck selling that.
I'm gonna wait to eat though. When Imran comes, I'll take a segment or two off.
Oh,
I'm ready to do battle with Imran today. I can't
you
do
say
it.
that, but he'll say something.
Well,
I know.
You
He'll
might
write a card on his side, and you'll be right in there.
You guys spoke up, Imran, because
Uh-oh.
I just received a text from Imran. Let's see, 2 minutes
What'd he
minutes
say?
ago.
Don't get if he gonna be late or so cancel. I'm gonna be upset.
Well, you might as well get upset and start eating because he just canceled.
Oh, okay.
What?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
No, it's not. I'll tell you why.
Oh, you got a good reason.
Yeah,
All right,
he's got a great
all
reason.
right.
He's got a great reason. Yeah.
All right. I thought he didn't want to drive. Or something like that. I'm like, come on, bro.
We were just before you
don't want to drive.
Right? I thought there was some weak reason. All right, sorry about that.
No, we were just talking about the Keegan thing because Jay is one of those people. We've had this discussion before. Jay would be open to moving Keegan. He also says he wants to re-sign him to preserve the salary slot.
Yep.
But like a lot of people that we hear from and that listen, he's open to trading them. And I just wanted to know if he could restate his position for us.
Jay, please.
Yeah, so Drapes missed that part, but you eloquently put that out there. I would like the Kings to re-sign him for the spot. You know, keep that value there. For me, this is my thing with Keegan. This year is spot on, make it or break it. I need to see it be proven. I don't really have time to wait on him if we're moving forward. If we are taking a step back, and I say we, Kings Kingdom, Sacramento Kings, Kings organization, if they're going to tear it down a little or tear it back and allow him to be, a 1 or 2, for me, it's a 1 or 2. I don't even need you to be a 3. I can get a 3 and pay a little less than what I'm going to pay you at $30 million. But I do think he deserves a chance. I'm just not sold on. Now, this is me personally.
Mm-hmm.
He's not my style of ball player that I needed. I think you can win with a championship.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think he's in your face enough. I think you got to have an attitude. I think you have to win a championship, you got to have a little nastiness.
Like everybody, the whole team?
I think you do. I think there's got to be a mentality and a mindset. I truly do. Now, I'm not serious to say the 12th man on the bench of the Pistons in 04 or whatever didn't have that, or the Lakers, in 2020 during COVID or whatever, the Spurs, I'm not saying every person, but if he's going to be an integral part of that, I think you got to bring something to the table that for me, I have not seen Keegan have.
To me, what he makes up for there potentially with a lack of being demonstrative is that he defends. And it's such a precious commodity on my team because I don't have enough guys that play defense, and he's the best defender, and he's improved defensively, which speaks to his character as a team player, that he's willing to do that. So to me, I know sometimes he seems like he's more than willing to take a back seat, but I think it just speaks to his character as a team.
Can I rebuttal that a little bit? Because I think Keegan gets, and for good reason, he is a good defender. I don't think he's a great defender. I don't think he's the type of guy that you can put on somebody's best player and even have an opportunity to shut a person down. I also don't believe that you can put him on the second best player of another team and even have an opportunity. I just haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. Well, that's me.
I haven't seen him guard everybody in the league.
Yeah, but is he shutting these guys down? We turn around, Drapes, and on a weekly basis, and this has to do with two things. It's not all on Keegan. We're talking about Keegan, so I don't want to pinpoint and put the X on Keegan. What I'm saying is this.
But he guards bigger players, smaller
I get
players.
it. He's a rotation piece. And what I'm saying is this. He's someone that is good and can be a rotational piece as a starter. I'm saying if I want to win a championship, and that's why I started, depending on where the Kings want to go with this, if they want to tear it down, then I'm all for letting Keegan go out there and show me and prove me wrong. And if he does, I'll be the first one to come on here and say, you know what, Keegan, you that boy.
I will say this, Jay. To me, it's all about what are you getting back in return.
Agreed.
If you're telling me the Celtics are trading Jaylen Brown for Keegan, I mean, come on, and so, but I'm not just looking to shop this guy, looking to give away this guy. Like Keegan Murray, I'll throw it to you. Second year, average 15 points.
Yeah.
Then they go out there and get DeMar DeRozan, take away shots. So has he even been in a position to showcase some of the offensive things that you want to see from him?
80 games, 77 games, 76 games. He plays. He's efficient. He defends. I don't know what the problem is.
What I'm saying is this. It's kind of a gray area with that, Drapes, and I'm trying to beat Rock down the middle. Again, Keegan is a good ball player. I'm not saying he's not a good ball player. I'm not saying he's not a firm starter in this league. Believe me, I'm not saying that. But I'm not getting ready to jump over horses or heels for a guy that I drafted top 5 that's giving me 15 points, and I'm hoping something down the road. That's something we continuously talk about on this show. Somebody got to step the hell up and be the man.
But Jay,
hold on, though. As you would say, let me say, I've given him 3 years. At some point in time, step out and be the man. I don't need to give you an opportunity. You step up and be the man, and that's why I said I don't think he has the mentality to do that.
When you have an offense that is not geared towards him and he doesn't get shots, and then you say he's only averaging 15 a game, that's as much on not you, but that's on the team as much as it's on him.
15's pretty damn good that second year. That's
absolutely. Yeah, for sure. But where has he grown? Whole game.
Defensively, he's grown. Rebounding wise, he's grown. Offensively, he has not grown as much as you'd like, and I don't think he's had the opportunity to.
Dude,
so how do you
Dude, the ball's in DeMar's hands, Fox's hands, Malik's hands. Like, I feel like if I'm keeping it real, the coaching staff has been holding Keegan back. The system has been holding Keegan back, if we're being honest.
I can agree with that.
Doesn't guarantee that if you give him the chance, he's going to average 22 a game, but I think you owe it to yourself to find out.
But what I'm saying to you is doesn't that show the mentality that he had? And I'm stepping away from the, like Will plays around fellas and he's nice and all that. I'm not even talking about that.
Right.
What I'm saying is at some point in time, I think you guys could tell me, you can see when a dude is getting ready to be a star, he's making the necessary steps or he has that attitude. Right. And I'm not saying, let's just say Anthony Edwards. You could see soon the moment he walked onto the floor, he was different.
Jay, stop that. Stop that, Jay.
But this dude was a 4th pick in the league. So what am I not expecting that for him?
So hold up. Let's hold up for 1 second. Yeah, take a
we got to do a break?
Out. Yeah, we'll take a full. Right. We'll be right back. The Keegan conversation continues. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Drive Guys talking Keegan on Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Everyone has a past, but what happens if you've made mistakes and made good on that past, but it keeps following you? Are you looking for an attorney to erase past records and restore your rights? Maybe even restore your gun rights? Do you need a reputable criminal defense attorney who knows even good people make bad mistakes? Well, the attorneys at Gonzalez Law Office are here to help. Find Gonzalez Law Office online at saclegaldefense.com or call them at 916-304-9187. We don't settle for less, and neither should you.
Catch all the action at Sky River Casino. Enjoy over 80 table games, more than 2,100 slot machines, and a thrilling high-limit room. Plus, with 18 elevated restaurants, bars, and lounge destinations, and Sky River rewards that add up and up. There's something for everyone. Just minutes from Sacramento, right off Highway 99 in Elk Grove. Join in the fun and experience new heights. Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Worried about your battery and the heat? We get it. You don't want to get stranded somewhere with a car that feels like an oven. We've got you covered at AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination. Our free battery testing and charging service can help. And if you need a battery, we'll help you find a new one. No problem. Power through with free battery testing and charging at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Hey there, I'm Jack.
And I'm Stag.
We're just two deer that want to make sure you know it's deer season at your authorized John Deere dealer. The deer season that saves bucks, like us.
Yeah, you can get $3,000 off select John Deere machines. No early wake-up calls or tree stands required.
Just a trip to your authorized dealer before June 2nd.
If you ask us, it's the only deer season worth celebrating.
Visit johndeere.com/deer season to find an authorized dealer and for complete finance details.
Memorial Day is the unofficial beginning of summer and a time to reflect on the blessings we enjoy living in this country. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. At Naturewood's Memorial Day sale, you choose the offer. It's like 2 sales in one. Take 10% off regular prices or get 24 months of no-interest financing with payments on approved credit. Then you can choose from living rooms, sofas, sectionals, dining rooms, bedrooms, home offices, and so much more. Whether you're looking to lighten the mood in your living room, brighten up your bedroom, or tighten up your home office, you can shop and save big on the best selection of quality furniture, including Sacramento's largest selection of furniture made in the USA. Shop the area's best selection of quality furniture at Naturewood Home Furnishings. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for that water wheel.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
We'll get back to the Keegan conversation. First, I just saw this. And this is a clip. I know, Drapes, you're very wary of NBA Central, but this is a clip. Jay Williams talking about Jaylen Brunson. I don't think I'm the biggest Jay Williams fan. I think I did an interview with him once. He's a nice guy and everything, but some of the things he's saying, quote, I think we are watching the greatest Knick ever to play in that Knicks uniform. Talking about Jaylen Brunson.
Yeah, there's a few people, a couple, even Greenberg, Mike Greenberg even said that. I'm like, people are crazy. Come on. Dude ain't even been to an Eastern Conference Finals yet, has he? What are we talking about here? What are we talking about?
It's not necessary. Yeah. It's just, not only is it disrespectful to the great Knicks of past, you're disrespecting yourself, and it's like, what happens when he actually does something? What are you going to say about him then? When he actually does something, you've already said he's the greatest Knick ever. You're going to say, oh, he's better than Michael Jordan now.
Right.
Come on.
Come on, Knicks fans.
We're better than that.
Yeah.
He's also the one, Jay Williams, who said, he's defending JJ Redick again, I think. He said, Luka has the body of a 40-year-old. He said he's 26 now, but he has a body of a 40-year-old. Then he tried to explain it, in that when you're a pro athlete and you're not in the best of shape, you take a year off and the years pile up on you and they take a toll on you. That's what he's saying. But all of a sudden now, you got Jay Will? Yeah, Jason Williams? Yeah.
I said it last year, and I'm going to say it again. And I know that he has to close the deal and win a championship. A lot of that is roster construction, the right pieces. I don't think they're actually going to have a chance against the Boston Celtics. But I think we are watching the greatest Knick ever to play in that Knick uniform. I firmly believe that. He embodies everything that I think the Knicks.
Clyde Frazier. He has a chance to be
said and done.
Yeah.
I think we will be talking about him in that capacity.
There's no
He's
way.
crazy.
There's no way. And I give him credit.
Who's the greatest Knick, fellas?
Walt
Clyde Frazier, you could say.
Yeah, but I give him credit. He did kind of back out of it a little bit and made a stronger argument when he said, well, I'm saying that we will eventually think that. Now, it's still wrong, but that makes more sense than to say right now he's the greatest.
Is he top 5?
Jaylen
right
Brunson?
now? He's only been here 3 years, right?
I
No,
think it's
that
too,
team has a
they
rich
got
history.
They've
won
Hall of
for a long
Famers.
He top 10? Yeah.
Nick? I don't know.
I'd have to look at it. Yeah, I'd have to. Yeah, but
probably not.
Better than Patrick Ewing?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
I mean, we agree.
No,
don't we?
of course.
Yeah.
Patrick's my dude, of course.
Yeah.
We agree on that. Love Patrick Ewing. Yeah, it's people are, get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Go to the NBA Finals. A round 1 game winner, in games like, come on, man. Come on now. That's ridiculous.
It is.
Patrick's been to the finals. Walt Clyde's won championships. Like,
Right.
what are we talking about?
Willis freaking Reed.
Willis
I
Reed.
know we're going way back.
Willis
I
Reed.
know some
No.
people are going to be like, what?
I'm
I
done.
don't know
Here we
who
go.
these guys are.
Here we go, fellas. Real quick
Yeah.
exercise.
Yeah.
All right, this was 2019 Bleacher Report. So I'm going back some ways. Top 25 Knicks in history.
Okay.
That's pretty much Jaylen came 3 years ago. If I'm not once. Yeah, three years ago. Yep. J.R. Smith is number 25.
Okay.
He's better than J.R., right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I give him that.
Okay.
Yep.
24 is Ray Williams, played in the 70s and early 80s.
Yeah.
That's a little bit before my time.
Yeah.
He averaged 16 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds.
Brunson's better.
Yeah.
Okay. Brunson. Cassie Russell.
Yeah, he's better than Casual.
Okay, 67 to
He's
70.
also a good player, but yeah.
David Lee, 05 to 2010.
Yeah. David Lee's solid, but yeah.
Strawberry, 03 to 08.
Oh, I can say Starberry is doing the same thing
as Jaylen
Brunson is doing right now.
That's close. That's a coin flip, huh?
Yeah. I'm trying to remember how many games they won with Starberry.
All right, let me see.
That's close.
All right, and in 04-05, his first full season as a Knick after he got traded, he finished second league-wide in total assists only to Steve Nash. Let's see.
If you include his Chinese career, it's right.
He only played 4 seasons with the Knicks. That's the only thing about it. I'm trying to see if they put anything. No, they.
I would probably say Brunson at first blush, but I'd have to look at it.
But now you're starting to get into questionable category.
Yeah.
All right, so you got. I'm gonna skip those two. How about Bill Cartwright, 79 to 88, averaged 17 points, 7 rebounds.
Cartwright was good.
He was good
for the Knicks,
but I give Brunson an
okay. Larry Johnson, Grandma Ma.
Nope.
LJ, come on, man. Brunson's nice, but
Anthony Mason.
Ooh.
He was there for 5 years. Stalwart of the early 90s Knicks.
He was a great Knick.
Yeah.
Close, but I don't know.
Okay.
I might get an edge to Brunson.
Michael Ray Richardson, number 16.
That's going way back.
Yeah.
70s.
He put up numbers, but Brunson's probably because they've won more.
All right. This one is the first one I thought about. Short-lived, 20 points, 7 rebounds, a block and a half, 50% field goal shooting, Amari Stoudemire.
Ooh, as a
Knick. He only played 3 years, though.
He was nice, though, Whitey.
Oh, he was nice, but he was nicer, before he got there.
Yeah.
I think Brunson's we're talking greatest Knick. I give a slight edge to Brunson.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. I got you.
Who else?
This is before my time. Richie Gearing.
Before
my
time.
50s.
Believe that.
All right. How about this one?
So they didn't even they just used rocks.
Right.
Latrell Sprewell.
Come on.
Nope.
Went to the finals. He went to the finals.
Right.
18 points a game. Oh, he is balling. 12. Now we're starting to get to it. John Starks. 9 years, excuse me.
Damn. Starks.
He was with them in the finals.
Yep.
Yeah. Brunson's a better player. That's close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Started 275 of 602 games. Charles Oakley. 10 years with the Knicks.
Are we talking better player or better Knick?
Better Knick.
Yeah, Oakley.
You get him Oakley?
I mean,
Nick
because of what you just said.
10 years.
I'm looking at, better Nick.
Brunson's the better player, but as a Knick, you think of Charles Oakley.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Allen Houston.
Oh, of course. Allen Houston had one of the most iconic shots in Knicks history.
Mm-hmm.
9 years for the Knicks.
Great Knick.
Mark Jackson.
Oh, dude, come on, man. Mark Jackson in the Knicks. Like, when I think of the Knicks, I see it. I can visualize it.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Bradley, 70s.
Bill Bradley was on the 2 teams that won championships.
Yeah.
Starter, yeah.
All right. Then you got Melo.
Yeah.
He ain't called Melo yet, right?
Come on, man.
This one is the other one I thought about. Quickly, Bernard King.
Hell no.
Bernard King, way better.
Right.
Way better
Don't
than
disrespect Bernard King.
He played quick, though, right? 3-4 years for the Knicks.
Tore up his knee, but he was unguardable in the low post.
He only played 138 games for the Knicks.
Wow.
27 points a game.
He was.
Anybody else, Jay? Because I
Dave DeBusschere
about this. Nah, come on.
Earl Monroe.
Come on. Earl Monroe.
Willis Reed. Frazier.
Yeah.
Pat Ewing.
Yeah. There you go.
So where's he at?
11.
He's around
or 9
12-ish,
or
13-ish.
Jay Williams say that. He's better than Earl Monroe.
Yeah.
So you got him around 12-ish?
Yeah.
13-ish?
And impossible.
climbing.
It could be a little lower.
Because you got Spree was at 13, Starks 12.
But we had Marbury,
11,
too. I had Marbury.
Yeah, Marbury, Houston. So he's around 12 to 15.
As soon as Brunson wins 2 championships with the Knicks,
right,
I'll say, you know what, Jay? I think you're right.
guys, real quick on this, because I actually thought about this earlier regarding Jaylen Brunson. The game is because they got this stat, he scored more 30-point, playoff games. The game is so different now. Offenses are so, the 3-point shot, it's not as physical. Like, if Patrick Ewing had the ball in his hands every single, these point guards have the ball in their hand every single time. Patrick Ewing could score 30 easily. And I just think it's a different game now where you have now one or two guys that are but back then you play with Starks, you play, with who was the point guard? I'm drawing a blank on those.
Derek Harper.
They're those guys could score, but it was more balanced, I feel like.
Well,
Greg Anthony.
This is going way back, but to that point, I mean, the Knicks had Walt Frazier, then they added Earl Monroe.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, come on. Come on now.
And they still had Willis Reed and all the other guys, Bill Bradley. Yeah. So, you had to share the ball a little bit more.
So
it's
Brunson,
hard to compare those eras.
Yeah. Brunson took 18.5 shots this season, 21.5 last season. And when I look at Patrick Ewing's numbers, and I haven't looked them up, so I'm going to look them up now. In terms of attempts, Ewing, his highest was 20.4, which Brunson has eclipsed. He never shot as much as in any single season as Jaylen Brunson has.
Right.
So come on, it's different. It skews the numbers.
Yeah. When we come right back, we'll look at Pop. Remembering Pop, also Sacramento, Scott Perry, Doug Christie, and unfinished business next on Sacktown Sports.
The Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, athletics, and Republic FC with the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit SacktownSports.com to join.
So, your small business is outgrowing your garage. You could go online, find a space, and get catfished. Or you could work with an agent who's a realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopiers.com.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Hey, Marvel fans, get ready for the next heroes to hit the largest screen in Sacramento with Thunderbolts, the IMAX experience, playing this week at the Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown.
You thought you were going to be some great saviors? You can't even save yourself.
Filmed for IMAX, the best place to immerse yourself in Marvel's Thunderbolts is on the Esquire IMAX 6-story screen and thunderous sound system. Get your reserved seats today at IMAX.com/Sacramento. Thunderbolts playing this week at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
There are so many benefits of working with the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento. Now, we chose them to get our new garage doors, and we're so thrilled that we did. They look absolutely amazing. Jason Ross here. And for us, well, we just flat out needed new garage doors. But maybe you do as well, or maybe it's just repairs to your existing doors. Well, the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento can help you with that. It is also a great time of year because this is when homes go on the market. So is yours ready? Well, one thing, don't forget about that garage door, because a new garage door can increase the value of your home. First off, with Curb Appeal, a new modern or stylish garage door can improve the overall appearance of your house. Also, the return on investment. It is one of the most cost-effective upgrades to increase your home value. You can see for yourself. Just visit the showroom off Franklin Boulevard and ask about the Sacktown Sports Special. Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, the genuine, the original overhead door. Always look for the red ribbon logo.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sacktown Sports, 1140.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Sacramento, Scott Perry, Doug Christie, and unfinished business. Doug Christie talked about the unfinished business today. Grapes made an interesting point. It seems like maybe there was an effort today to tamp down expectations a little bit. There wasn't a lot of talk in the Doug Christie introductory press conference of, we're going to win the championship in 3 years. We're going to make the playoffs. There was talk of taking a year to get everything in place, to establish an identity. That said, Doug Christie did talk about unfinished business. What does that mean to you, Drapes?
Unfinished business. What does it mean to me, or what do I think?
What do you think
what Doug means by it?
To me, when he first talked about that, it's pretty clear to me that he's talking about the team that he played on and how close they came, and they weren't able to take care of it.
Yes, 100%. That's exactly what I think it is, because he's been saying this ever since he got into coaching.
Yeah.
I think he's still upset at the way that, run ended, unable to get to the finals. That's the unfinished business. He's talking about getting this franchise back with a chance to contend for a championship. I think that's his ultimate goal when he talks about unfinished business.
Yeah, they're a ways from that, but it sounds like, based on what Scott Perry had to say today, there's an emphasis now on figuring out how to get everybody on the same page and get more of a concerted effort towards that goal, rather than, as he said, taking shortcuts. No shortcuts. So that may mean some restructuring, some retooling. I don't know, but it's just another one of the big questions we have as we get ready for this summer. And that's one of the frustrating things. We just want all the answers. What are you going to do? And they probably don't know yet, but we want to find out, Drapes. Who's staying? Who's going? Who are you getting? It all takes time, but it's hard to be patient.
Well, think about it. Scott Perry ain't even been on the damn job for 2 weeks yet.
Right. I know. But he's got a TV in Florida. He's been watching before he got here.
Ready for trades now, free agent signing.
Aren't you?
I'm yes, but I understand. I got to be patient.
Of course.
Like, we're not going to know anything. Maybe next week with the draft lottery, where we eventually wind up.
We don't even know who's going to be on Doug's staff yet.
That's what I'm saying. That news will come out next week. I firmly believe Doug will make some hires, within the next week. And each week we're going to get news. Next week we're going to get the draft lottery news. Doug will hire a couple of assistants, and then you got the draft in June. And things will start to happen. It's hard to wait though, because you know what it is, Whitey. It's Christmas out here. We mom and dad brought home some presents, and we're waiting to see what's under the tree. We want to open them, but we just got to wait. It's an exciting time though, because I think we're all, fans can agree what happened the last 2 years was not fun. That was not good. We're desperate and looking for Scott Perry to come in here and change it. It's like getting a new landlord or something like that. You throw Doug in there as the new head coach as well. And so we're excited to see what are these guys, what changes these guys are going to make.
On the one hand, for a lot of Kings fans, they have to ask the question, do I dare to hope again? And then on the other hand, it's like, look at everything Kings fans have been through. Right. You might as well. I mean, you can be dour and depressed about it if you want, but I mean, there's glimmers of hope that we saw today. One of the big questions, obviously, there's a lot of them, is Keegan. And we spent a good portion of the show today talking about Keegan because we have a little difference of opinion on the show as we have in the fan base.
Right.
Where is Keegan? How does he fit into this going forward? Yellow Vision Richardson says, come on, big fella. He's talking about Keegan. He's been playing a lot of minutes. He's not that guy. And you have he also says, if we want to stay a quiet, small-town team, keep Murray. He fits with what the Kings are trying to get away from. There's other people that say, it's coaching. Keegan has to be given a chance. And no matter how you feel about it, I think we can agree. It's a pivotal decision they got to make here.
Yeah, it is. But, I'll say this about Keegan. Because I went to Clutch Points. They did an NBA redraft from Keegan's draft. Now, this was prior to this past season. So, somebody will probably update it and do a different one. But they did a redraft coming into this last season. Paolo 1, he went 1. Chet 2, he went 2. J-Dub, Jalen Williams, 3. Number 4, Keegan Murray.
Keegan!
So even knowing everything we know, going into this last season. Hold up, Jay. Let me make my point. I'm gonna get there. Keegan Murray, and this is what they say about Keegan. Murray is much more than just a catch and shoot option. He holds his own on defense, and his creation is rapidly developing. So what stunted his growth is you bring in DeMar DeRozan. Keegan would have taken that next step, but then you bring in DeMar DeRozan out there. It's like I'll put it in terms Jay can understand.
Wow.
It's like having a first-round wide receiver pick, but then you go out there and you get A.J. Brown. You go out there and get DK Metcalf. This dude ain't going to produce the same because now he got those future Hall of Famers in front of him. That's what Keegan Murray is. I'll keep going, Jay, for you. Jabari Smith Jr. at number 5.
Give me in front of. I'll take him over Keegan.
You crazy, Jay?
Keep going, man.
Why?
Why? Tell me why.
Keep going, man.
Tell me why.
Keep going.
You gotta tell us why, Jay.
Because I think he has more upside. I like his attitude. I like his ability. He's longer, and to me, I think he has shown and proven that when the time gets going, he gonna get going.
Okay, that's Jay's opinion and reasoning.
What's Jabari Smith's stats?
Come on, man. You got a computer back there, Jay.
Yeah, but I'm also doing 16.
Oh, you doing?
I also got
Jabari Smith.
Right.
I feel like he took a step back this year.
I think so too.
I think he's similar to Keegan in terms of the numbers.
I agree.
This year, 12.2 points, 7 rebounds.
Okay.
There you go. 35% from the 3.
We're talking about Keegan. That's Keegan, right?
No, that's Jabari Smith.
No, but I'm saying that's Keegan. I'm relating them to.
Oh, yeah.
Who's a better defender?
Jabari.
No. I think they're both really good.
Ooh, okay.
That can be debated.
Yeah.
That can be debated. Number 6.
Who we got?
Jaden Ivey.
Incomplete.
Okay.
I'll take Keegan.
All right.
Yeah.
Number 7. Jaylen Duren.
Oh, good player.
Yeah, Keegan, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 8. Walker Kessler.
Another good player, but I'll take Keegan.
I'll take Keegan.
So what are we saying here then, Jay? What are we doing? What's the point of this exercise?
I'm just trying to see. We're talking about that draft class.
Ben Mathurin.
Jay, are you saying that because of Keegan's shortcomings, specifically a lack of being more aggressive, that you just don't feel like the Kings should be hitching their wagon to him for the long term?
Correct.
Pretty much what you're saying.
And this is the thing. I think Kings fans, and I'm not saying you guys, I think Kings fans, and you said this, we're split. And when we're split, to me, that lets me know he's not the guy that we need him to be. And that's my answer. I really think if we were like, oh, this dude is legit, he's gonna be the next whatever, it could be whoever you want it to be. I truly don't know what Keegan is right now, and we're getting ready to have to pay him like we know what he is.
You know what I see a little bit, Drapes, not from Jay.
Yeah.
But a little bit, and maybe it's not there, maybe I'm imagining, but just based on some of the comments here, and we appreciate all the comments, whether you agree with us or not. it seems like some people are starting to look at Keegan the same way they looked at Harrison Barnes. Seeing a little bit of that. Like I say, Jay, not from you, not from everyone who doesn't want Keegan here, but I just notice a little bit
of Harrison Barnes syndrome.
Exactly.
And what is that?
It's
just explain it for me, just for me.
Failing to appreciate solid performances and contributions from a guy who doesn't consistently give you big offense. I think that's what it is.
Ooh. Now, let me ask this back, and this is something we don't do, but this is what the fans are going to do, because I'm a firm believer. I hope that Keegan gets $200 million a year. They have it. They can give it to him in the league. But for what he, meaning Harrison Barnes, was paid for a very long time, could you see the correlation of why fans said, yeah, he's paid like he should be producing more?
I'll answer that when we come right back. Drive, guys. Hope you're enjoying your Friday on Sacktown Sports.
The Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, UC Davis, and Sac State with the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit SacktownSports.com to join.
Whitey here with another great grilling tip. The Napoleon Stainless Steel Prestige 500 Connected Propane Grill with infrared side and rear burner featuring Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity brings you closer to your grilling experience than ever before. The Napoleon Connected lets you monitor temperatures, set timers, and receive high temp warnings. Boop, boop. All from your smartphone with temperature probes and LCD display. You'll always know exactly what's happening inside your grill. Napoleon's LED control knobs even illuminate for nighttime entertaining and feature safety glow. Napoleon grills, simply the best.
William is one of millions of Americans who uses GoodRx to save on the cost of their prescriptions.
My oldest daughter, Camilla, 2 days old, she had to have open heart surgery. All of a sudden, she's on 5 different medications. It adds up at the end of the month. Me and the pharmacist got so tight. She said, GoodRx saved you a lot of money. Saving that extra $200-300 a month. We're able to do all these extra activities, so it puts less stress on our household, and it puts less stress on our pockets.
Download the free app or visit GoodRx.com and start saving today. GoodRx user compensated for their time. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. You get it?
Yes, good job.
So what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Eddie Grant, Electric Avenue, Jay, 1980. 1986?
Braves, you want to take a shot?
I was going to say before then, 84.
82.
82. Dang.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
Here's some comments from Russell on Keegan.
Hold on, Whitey. Stop. Hold up. I'm gonna let you get your stuff off. I'm gonna let you. Does this dude Russell ever say anything that could be viewed as positive? Anything that on the meter of positivity
you're just
versus
because he said your analogy was terrible.
Nah. This dude is always negative. So before I don't even know what comment you're about to read. Just close your eyes and pick one. I guarantee you it's negative. Go ahead, Whitey.
Russell says, go through every NBA playoff team and tell me how many Keegan starts on. The answer is 0. He also says, dude is an average NBA player at best. That's just not true, Russell. I mean, we could obviously agree to disagree. You have different business. Keegan Murray is not an average NBA
he's not
player.
average.
He's better than that.
Oh, my God.
But I think you speak for a lot of people when you say that.
This guy, man. I'm not saying I don't respond to Russell's comments, man. I'm not. It was too negative for me.
Yellow Vision Richardson says, right, Russell. So there you go.
No, it's just, like this dude is never optimistic about anything. Everything's, that dude's this, that dude's that. Nah. Do you like anything, Russell? anything make you happy? Do you like any players on the Kings roster? He's always negative.
That's a good question. Russell, who's your favorite player ever?
Right. Who's your favorite player?
Yeah.
There you go.
Russell,
the Kings are the best team in the NBA.
Be positive.
That's what I'm talking about, Russell. But
Stop bullying folks, Drapes.
Oh, hey, my boy Manny too legit. Russell's a troll, LOL. See, people know.
Huh. He's good at it.
Yeah. He got mentioned on the show.
Yeah. I think there are a lot of people. Let's see. Russell says, I love Domas.
Okay, there you go. See? Finally.
Yeah.
First time when we talk about Domas, I never hear him say, what are you guys talking about? Domas is great. It's only when he hates something, he's negative about somebody, does he chime in. Go ahead.
NBA Young Cobb says, I've always said,
oh my God,
the Keegan chants are holding him back. That's for role players, not for true 20-point per game scorers. It's Scott Moak's fault. He's the one holding back Keegan.
He said role play. That's for role players. That's hilarious.
I hadn't thought of that.
What's going on in the YouTube chat?
It's the Keegan chants that are holding back Keegan. And as a lot of people say, it's the beam that fires up the other teams when they come in here to play the Kings.
Right. People
That's
say
why
that
the Kings
too.
don't have a better home record.
People say that too. All right, here you go. How about this one? From the 916. Another example is Brunson on the Mavs. Was traded away. Now he's on the Knicks. He's Mr. Clutch. He got the opportunity.
Right. And he was good.
He was good. No, but he wasn't this, Jay.
No.
He wasn't even close to an all-star
But you
either.
could see it, though, right? Could you see he needed a space?
Could see it.
Okay.
I could see it
the
with
Mavs
Keegan.
didn't.
Okay,
Right,
I got
they
you.
did.
I got you.
Yeah.
So you truly believe, and be careful, Drapes.
No, you're trying to set me up right here.
That's why I'm trying to phrase it properly. You believe Keegan has superstar in him, because that's what, if we're talking about Jaylen Brunson, I know that's an example.
Nah,
okay,
come on.
So where do you see? You think he has all-star potential? You think he can be an all-star?
I think he has top 3 on a championship team potential.
Okay.
I think there's a chance he could be a superstar, but it's very slim now.
So who was number 3 for the Celtics, fellas, last year?
Who was number 3?
Was it Kristaps?
Porzingis.
Okay.
Sure.
Or Drew?
It was probably Derek White, wasn't it?
Derek White.
Yeah.
We don't do that.
Here we go.
We already know. He can't be Derek White, Jay?
He is Derek White.
And
so he's the number 3 on the championship team.
But is he Kristaps Porzingis at the highest level?
I can't even.
No, because they're two different.
And he just, because Porzingis is hurt so much. And it's one thing Keegan.
Yeah.
He gets hurt a little bit, but he plays a lot.
Yeah, he does. Availability is big.
Mm-hmm.
It was 2 years ago. I'm already blanking.
So bottom line here is, you think over the championship?
Yeah.
Was that Denver?
Denver.
Yeah,
2 years ago.
Yeah. You think Keegan has pretty much shown you what he is? So like, if you're the Kings, like, you feel like, I know what you are, for better or worse.
Yes, I think we have a good handle on who he is, but I will agree, fellas. I think he has room to grow, but I don't think he's ever going to be a 3 on a championship team. That's where I disagree. Yeah, that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, you're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah.
I just think we haven't even got to see everything he can do. Rookie year, it's all about dribble, handoff, standing in the corner.
Yeah.
Second year, he took the leap, 15 points per game. The numbers suggest defense improved.
Mike Brown had him attacking the basket.
Then we bring in DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
And we went into the season saying Keegan's probably going to, his shots are going to attempt.
Yep.
And that's what wound up happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then you bring in Zach LaVine too. Like, come on.
Yeah. And I know I'm starting to sound like, I'm getting repetitive, but he's more important to the Kings than he is to other teams, just because he is I think we can agree he's an above average defender at the very least.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I don't have enough of those.
No. And the other thing he is, which the Kings don't have, is he's long.
Right.
He's athletic.
That's why
He's a
Jalen Ravy is
3D
like,
guy.
he's a savior, because
Yes.
he's an actual
Yes.
NBA forward with some length. Like, oh, thank goodness.
Yeah. The last part of it for me is this: when it comes to Keegan, if we're going off the premise of guys like a Jaylen Brunson, Derek White, you know, a lot of people at the tail end of San Antonio Spurs run for Derek White was like, this guy has a lot more room to expand his game and be a better ball player than I think we're getting the results of. If that's the case with Keegan, unfortunately, we're going to be stuck in the form of you either need to let him go right now, meaning this year, and I think that's what started the conversation for me, or you're going to have to, and that's why I say you sign him, you keep that contract where it is so you can spin him and make sure you get someone who is like it's already a certain thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we already know what this guy
Proven
is.
commodity.
Proven commodity.
Yeah.
You know, I'll say this about Keegan too, Jay. And I'm not saying he's untradeable or untouchable. Like nobody on the roster is. You know what I mean? I'm just saying I'd like to see what he could do with a bigger role offensively. You gave him the huge, I'm saying the organization gave him the huge role defensively. Let the man cook and eat a little bit offensively. Let me see I just feel like I haven't seen enough. He hasn't been given enough of an opportunity to really show what he can do.
Then he's shown the glimpses.
Right. He's shown some glimpses.
Bright glimpses.
Has he pushed the narrative though?
I'm sorry?
Has he pushed the narrative?
But what do you mean?
Yeah. Does he push the narrative in the form of you guys got to give me this because I've showed that I've done it. I'm almost salivating at the mouth now.
I think we could. That's not his nature.
Yeah.
Maybe is that a drawback for some? Maybe for some, it's not. I mean, he's the ultimate team player. He's like, I just read one of the quotes about defense. I don't like guarding these guys, but if that's what the team needs to
whatever
do,
the coach says,
yeah,
whatever a play
does, a positive,
right.
That cuts both ways.
And you also got to look at it too.
Find out what the people making the decisions think about him soon enough. We know what Monty thought about him. We don't really know what Doug. I'm not saying Doug has anything against him, but Scott Perry. What does Scott Perry think of Keegan?
Right.
We'll find out here soon enough.
And when you bring in DeMar ain't taking a backseat to anybody. DeMar is going to be DeMar.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't going to be like, no, it's Keegan's. You know, let me let Keegan cook. No, he's just going to be DeMar. And I feel like that took away from the development of Keegan Murray.
And like you said, anybody who knows the Kings saw that coming.
Right.
We anticipated that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We'll get back to the Kings conversation, bottom of the hour. I found what I think is actually good news for the Kings going forward. But I wanted to see what you guys thought of, the sad news today with Pop officially announcing he's not going to be coaching this year. I saw this. This is an old clip with Robert Horry. Pardon me. You know, one thing I say, I'm pulling for the Warriors now. Here's your guy, Robert Horry.
Watch him.
I'm going to get right out of town.
Yep.
Robert Horry wanted to come back to the Spurs when he played there. His daughter was in the hospital, and he wanted to come back to the team. And Pop said no. Quote, family is the most important thing. So he's multi-layered, very deep guy. We have an idea of Pop screaming at people, but then you hear stories of, DeMar DeRozan's stories about how Pop told him, you take however long you need.
When his dad died,
Yeah. Do you think Pop could be the best NBA coach ever? Here's a list. When the NBA announced their 75 greatest players, they came up with 15 great coaches. Red Auerbach, Larry Brown, Chuck Daly, Red Holtzman, Phil Jackson, Casey Jones, Steve Kerr, Drapes.
I'm not saying
Don Nelson.
Let you go through the list.
Greg Popovich, Jack Ramsey, Pat Riley, Doc Rivers, Jerry Sloan, Spoelstra, and Lenny Wilkins.
Damn, Spoelstra up there.
Yeah.
Where does Pop rank?
I would say one of the things that suggests he may be the best ever is that they won their first championship in 99 and their fifth in 2014.
Right.
So it's obviously not, like the same core guys. You had David Robinson in the first one. So to me, that, the players has always deserved more credit than the coach. But that's an impressive feat to win one in 99 and then keep it going and win one in 2014.
That's impressive. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. My view of who the greatest coaches in NBA history is a little different because I don't think championships, like for instance, Phil Jackson.
I hear you.
I look at it as, in terms of coaching, who does the most with the least.
Mm-hmm.
When you got a roster full of Hall of Famers, you got Shaq and Kobe and Jordan and Pippen, you ain't got to do a whole lot. Let's call it. To me, I might say Larry Brown. Because everywhere he went, he turned them around and he overachieved. Getting that Sixers team to the finals with Allen Iverson, coaching them up, like in terms of just coaching. Now, who has the greatest coaching career is different, but who's the best coach?
See, that's why to all those points you just made, not necessarily my favorite coach, but and he's not on this list. I mean, Don Nelson. Oh, he is on the list.
Oh, Don Nelson on there? Yeah.
Don Nelson won a ton of regular season games with a lot of different teams.
Right.
Now, you could say, well, none of them won the championship. Well, all right. Maybe that shows that he didn't have as much talent to work with as other
right.
guys.
And that's the thing. Like, just because you don't win a champion don't mean you may not have the roster to be a great coach.
Yeah.
To have that reflected.
Don Nelson also brought in some new, like, small ball, point forward.
Yeah.
Some new ideas into the game as well.
So I'm going by winning percentage. Phil Jackson, 70.4 winning percentage. Casey Jones, 67.4. Red Auerbach, 66.1. Steve Kerr, 64.8. Let me ask you, because I know you're a Steve Kerr guy. Would you consider him a top 5 greatest coach of all time?
Top 10, certainly. Top 5.
Right.
Probably not.
But he's number 4 all time in winning percentage. Pat Riley.
Pat Riley had some great teams too.
He did, and he had different styles too, right?
Yeah, but then he also had success with the Knicks, and then actually with the Heat, actually won another one, right? So
yeah, that's tough.
So
Pop is clearly a top 10, top 5 coach. Jerry Sloan, Chuck Daly.
Here's another thing about Pop. If you look at just regular season wins, not percentage wins, he's third.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at just playoff wins, he's also third. But if you put playoff and regular season together, he's got more than anybody.
Yeah. Sustained excellence for Greg Popovich. I'll say this, though. Going down the list here. Phil Jackson, Hall of Fame. Like,
oh, yeah.
Casey Jones, Red. But Larry Brown, that's why I consider him arguably the greatest.
He's, to me, a coach's coach.
Yeah, he's a coach's coach. Probably coached the fewest potential Hall of Famers out of he achieved a lot with less than I think the other guys.
Didn't he also? I believe he also coached the Denver Nuggets a little bit. But
yeah, he did. I got it right here. 3 seasons with the Denver Nuggets. Yes.
Yeah.
No, actually, why did they change their team name?
Well, they were the Denver Rockets.
No, they got DNA, and then Denver. Oh no, ABA. Yeah, that's why. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So hopefully Pop's health is good. He's going to be team president?
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully he's fine. But I thought it was worth taking a moment to reflect on an incredible coaching career. When we come back, NBA draft asset rankings. Well, that sounds like where do you think the Kings rank?
Yeah.
I think we have some good news on that front when we come back to Sacktown Sports.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, when the A's beat the Rangers in Arlington to kick off the most recent road trip, with J.P. Sears getting his 4th win, the A's improved to 15-14, the latest in a season they've been over 500 since 2021. Can they contend this year? Well, as we close the book on April, the American League West is the tightest division in baseball. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
At Valley Strong Credit Union, we know that local businesses are the backbone of the Central Valley, investing in our neighborhoods, boosting the economy, making the Valley stronger. But when it comes to their finances, where can they turn? A big bank that just sees another number? That's not good enough. Valley businesses deserve Valley support for payroll, credit, cash flow, and everything in between. Valley Business is Valley Strong. Learn how our cash management services can support your business at valleystrong.com.
Memorial Day is the unofficial beginning of summer and a time to reflect on the blessings we enjoy living in this country. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. At Naturewood's Memorial Day sale, you choose the offer. It's like 2 sales in one. Take 10% off regular prices or get 24 months of no-interest financing with payments on approved credit. Then you can choose from living rooms, sofas, sectionals, dining rooms, bedrooms, home offices, and so much more. Whether you're looking to lighten the mood in your living room, brighten up your bedroom, or tighten up your home office, you can shop and save big on the best selection of quality furniture, including Sacramento's largest selection of furniture made in the USA. Shop the area's best selection of quality furniture at Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel.
Hey, George.
Look for that water wheel.
Look, I've played a lot of golf courses in Sacramento, but if you want pristine conditions, a fun layout, and 27 holes that never get old, Timber Creek and Sierra Pines is the spot. The fairway is perfect, the greens smooth and true, the practice facility next level. And whether you're out for a casual round or hosting a big tournament, Timber Creek delivers every time. The course is always in top shape, the staff treats you right, and the experience, it's unmatched. It's easily my favorite place to play in Sacramento. Book your tee time now at timbercreekgc.com.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
If the Kings are spending this year establishing their identity and they're not taking any shortcuts, then they're probably going to need some draft picks in the cupboards to get things accomplished in the next few years. Today, ESPN released a list of NBA draft assets, NBA draft asset rankings, stacking all 30 teams' pick collections, ranking teams by their current and future picks. Where, just off the top of your head, would you guess the Kings would rank in something like that?
Current and future picks?
Yeah.
Just
Relative
picks.
to the rest of the league.
Not roster, just picks.
Just picks. Yeah. I was a little surprised. They did better than I thought they'd do.
I'd say probably like 20.
Okay. Let's see what we got here. First is the Thunder. They've got incoming future first-round picks. 13.
Damn.
They get all 7 of their own unprotected from the Clippers, top 4 protected from Houston, blah, 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 on and on. Maximum tradable future first-round picks, 10.
All right.
Future second-round picks, 17. So OKC, we knew they're very well stocked.
Yeah.
Number 2 is the Nets. Incoming future first-round picks, 12. Maximum tradable future first-round picks, 9. Future second-round picks, 15. Then you got Utah. Danny Ainge has been busy. Incoming future first-round picks, 10. And then you go to Houston, they're 4th. Incoming future first-round picks, 9. 5th is Charlotte. They've got 10 incoming future first-round picks. Number 6, Washington, of course. They've got 9 incoming future first-round picks. Number 7, Detroit Pistons had a great year, but obviously they have not been playing well in the previous year, so they've got 7 incoming future first-round picks. Number 8, Sacramento Kings.
Sacramento.
Yeah. Now, first round this year, none. But incoming future first round picks, 9 Drapes, all 7 of their own. San Antonio unprotected first in 2027. Minnesota unprotected first in 2031. So if you're wondering, well, if they wanted to trade a bunch of picks, maximum tradable future first round picks, Kings have 6 of those.
Wow.
So they're in pretty good shape for a team that hasn't ever tanked.
So they could put together a big package of picks.
They could.
They could.
Yeah. Or they can take their shots at the upcoming, drafts to come. But that, it sounds like it surprised you too. I thought they'd be much lower on that list. That's good news for, a lot of the people, fans around here have said, wow, you got to tear it down. You got to tank. You got to get more draft picks. And they haven't tanked, but they're in pretty good shape as far as their future assets. And I think Monty deserves some credit for that, frankly.
Yeah, I might be looking at it a little differently than you. And here's why. And OKC, they got the treasure trove.
Oh, absolutely.
But when they talk about asset ranking, a Sacramento Kings first-round draft pick is more valuable than a Boston Celtics first-round draft pick.
Sure.
So I'm reading this as to say the Kings with their teams would want the Kings first-round picks. Not that they have a treasure trove. It's almost like the Kings are so bad, you're going to want those picks.
Okay.
It's almost like a backhanded.
Well, I see that. I hadn't looked at that. But if you just look again at the incoming future first round picks, they've got 9. Orlando has 7. Toronto has 7. The Grizzlies have 7. The Pelicans have, they have 8. They have, So the Kings with 9. 9 is, you just compare that number of incoming futures to every other NBA team, and it's a good number.
It is a good number. Like
Spurs are kind of scary.
Spurs got 8.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't they be higher? You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. I think they're just going almost by the sheer just number. 9 is more than 8. That's my guess.
Yeah. No, they got some wiggle room talking about Sacramento. They got some, and that's why I always felt it was important to convey this pick to free up some of those future firsts. Because if you don't, let's say you sort of started to tank towards the end of the season, you wind up with the number 11 pick. But then that means your 2026 pick is held up, and then you can't even trade your 2027 because your 2026 is held up. This is why conveying this pick now, and I would imagine this article is taking that into account when it says 9 potential first-round picks.
Right. They do mention that they have a 3.8% chance of keeping the pick this year. Yeah. But they will have the second rounder. They only have future second-round picks 3. So they have been trading a lot of second-round picks.
Really? That's it?
Yeah.
And that's 2 from Charlotte, right? Remember the 2 from Charlotte? Oh. Does that factor into that?
I believe it does.
Or are they saying the Charlotte pick is one of the first round picks? 2 seems low for the next 8 years or however they did this exercise. Yeah. Okay.
Future outgoing first round picks, they only have that swap with San Antonio in 2031. So it's not that they lose a pick, they just have to trade places.
Move back. Yeah.
So I'm not saying smooth sailing. Everything's taken care of. But to me, that's encouraging as we start to look ahead to the future of the Kings and this attempt to build something sustainable. They've got more to work with than I thought they did.
So do we have 2 second rounders coming up? Number 42, like when they say 42, 43.
I think it's one
or
or
it's
the
just
other.
one or the other based on how some things shake out. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, we got to get up in the draft or something, right? Yeah.
I know. I'm wondering about that. I'm wondering if Scott Perry would like to do something. But it's tough in this draft. Anybody who has
ain't nobody giving
shot
up.
at the lottery, they're not gonna.
They're not giving up, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're talking the big fella or something, All right.
Yeah.
They got some assets to play with, though. I would like ESPN to do a story or somebody to do a story on player assets, like which players are most desirable around the league, because I think that's where, we're talking about all these trades. I don't know how teams view DeMar DeRozan. We sort of know with Zach just because he was on the trade market. I don't know how teams view Domantas Sabonis. We spitballed over here. Oh, well, would you do this? Domas, and you get Durant and 2 firsts. I don't know how the league views Domantas Sabonis.
The other thing that's a little bit concerning about this, 8th is a pretty nice place to be, but you look at the teams that are ahead of the Kings, that is, that have more incoming future picks, and you got a handful in your own conference because you're at 8, and then you have at number 4, Houston with 9 incoming future first-round picks, and then you also have Utah at 3. Danny's just been biding his time. And then 2 is Brooklyn, but then number 1 is Oklahoma City.
OKC. So the best team in the league has the best trade asset or draft asset.
Yeah.
Damn, Sam Presti.
Yeah.
A masterclass.
OKC is with their draft picks like Drapes is with money. It's like, I got so much here.
Just hey, you get a pick. You get a pick. Yeah. Like they could go out there and do something major this year if they wanted to. And they got player assets, Whitey. They got players that people want too, that they could trade.
Yeah. If the Kings had a guy like Josh Giddey, I know we go back and forth on him, but a valuable young player. OKC has so many assets and assets coming in, they can go, we could probably do better than that.
Right?
We'll get Caruso.
If they wanted to, they could put together the best package for Giannis, probably.
No, but this was supposed to be
it ain't fun.
An encouraging exercise, right?
I guess.
Like the beam.
I'm pulling out my Russell side. That's just a Russell side of the negative downer side of me.
All right, I got to try to find something else that would cheer you up. Tell you what, NBC is going to bring back to NBA telecasts. Oh, you are excited about that?
Yeah, I'm fired.
Here we go next on Sacktown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings. Sacktown Sports at sacktownsports.com.
Sacramento, get ready. The Sacktown Sports Live events calendar is packed with epic shows you won't want to miss. Classic rock bands, America takes the stage at Hard Rock Live Sacramento on May 9th. Then hip-hop legend LL Cool J brings the beats to Thunder Valley on May 10th. The Outlaw Music Festival rolls into Toyota Amphitheater on May 18th. And punk pioneers The Dam hit Ace of Spades on May 31st. June heats up with JJ Gray and Mofro at Ace of Spades on June 10th. Plus, country superstars Lee Brice and Walker Hayes at Ironstone Amphitheater on June 21st. Then it's 3 days of country fun at the Country Summer Music Festival at Sonoma County Fairgrounds on June 27th through the 29th. Get your boots ready for the Folsom Pro Rodeo July 3rd through 5th. Then catch Cody Johnson at Golden One Center on July 18th and Parker McCollum at Ironstone Amphitheater on August 16th. Mark your calendars, grab your tickets, and don't miss out. Find all the details at sacktownsports.com.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-694-1010. That's 1-800-694-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-694-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Get in on the action at Sky River Casino. With over 80 table games, the hottest slot machines, and a thrilling high-limit room, you'll enjoy a casino experience on a whole new level. Just minutes from Sacramento, right off Highway 99 in Elk Grove. Join in the fun. Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Oh, Keegan's still a hot topic of conversation here. We've been talking about Keegan's role going forward. Drapes and I think we're both very pro Keegan.
Yes.
I feel like the organization owes it to him, and more importantly, to itself, to the organization, to give him a chance to be a player who can show what he can do offensively. Jay and many people that we hear from, not necessarily sold on Keegan. And Jay, not to speak for you, I know you said you want to sign him. You're just not sure that you want to hitch your wagon to him long-term around here. We have this from NBA Young Bob. Keegan's 6'7".
Taller than that, ain't he?
Michael Porter Jr. is 6'9". Same with Kuzma. He looks bigger. Keegan looks bigger because he's standing next to 6'8" Sabonis. So that's just slanderous.
That's hate.
Yeah, Keegan's 6'8". Keegan is
because
6'8".
I'm a shoe-in for Hate of the Year.
Yeah.
Yellowvision Richardson, did Drapes slam that food already?
Yes, I did. Shout out to my favorite place. Appreciate you. Just got a little bit of the Drake left.
Not going to say what they are.
Tropical burst. No, you know what? I think I will.
I think you, as long as they didn't give you that.
No, they didn't give me that.
Bought that.
They didn't give me that.
Money.
Yeah. Exactly. I paid my hard-earned money.
Right.
T-Bar Sacramento.
There you
27th and Capitol. Shout out.
Yeah.
A friend of mine used to work there. Emily, she no longer works there. But yeah, man, that's my spot. You know when I first discovered it?
When?
Because I moved here during the pandemic. And I was staying in West Sac, staying in Midtown, and I was needed somewhere close. And before every game, I used to go there and get a drink, get my mind right. It was my pregame routine. And then even now I live in Folsom, I still go there. Not before every game, but a lot of times, I probably go once or twice a month, which is, yeah.
There used to be something that was part of the pregame routine when games were on NBC. When you'd watch an NBA game on NBC, you got to see this.
Yeah.
And then it went away for some reason.
Yes.
But NBC says when they start airing games again next year, they're bringing it back.
What is it?
Rick Cordella, who is the NBC president, says, our goal at NBC Sports is to make big events feel big and be big. So we're going to bring a lot of that back, show the atmosphere of the arena. They are bringing back the introduction of the starting lineups for NBA games.
Ooh, you get goosebumps and chills when this comes on. NBC doing something right. Kudos to them. Clap it up. Clap it up. No, this is exciting. I love it. I love it. And here's why, Whitey. I don't know if I told you this. I don't think I have ever have. That was one of my things I would always do before I got here in Boston. I would always go Instagram Live.
Oh, really?
The introductions. Because fireworks are going.
Yeah.
And these are the things people don't see at home usually. And so I always thought, why don't you show it? And so now NBC's doing it. That's awesome, man. That's huge.
Like, here's another example. Michael Jordan's player introductions. Very, very small amount of people were actually in Chicago Stadium, Sirius by the Alan Parsons Project, and 6'6" from North Carolina. The reason why people know it so well because NBC showed it. And so I think that's part of it too. Like, let's get in and show the atmosphere, make this seem like a big game. And so you will see that.
100% on board with this. I think you should show it, especially because the pregame, the introductions, it's a spectacle now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a performance. I'm the fireworks, the smoke, the star players being last, LeBron, like you get chills thinking about it. And so I think this is huge. I love this movie.
You can see it means a lot to the players too. They have their routines. Do you remember the first time you ever, maybe junior high or something, where you had a tournament or something and they introduced you, get to run out? That is so cool.
It is so cool. You run it, you running in between the line, high five, and then college, high school, you run out, shake the opponent's hand, and the referees and everything. I miss that, man. That's going to be great, man. Because I do believe people at home, it's a way of bringing in the in-arena environment to the people sitting at home watching. Mm-hmm. I love this move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. I don't know why it ever went away, really.
Commercials, probably.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, we can show more commercials.
Yeah, show more commercials.
Yeah.
You know what a pet peeve of mine is?
What is that?
When it comes to TV broadcast? And TNT did this several times the other night. When they're so quick to get to the commercial break, you miss guys pushing and shoving or something's going on, right? It's like, no, I want to see that. So-and-so just marched over to their hut, but they're so quick to go to the commercial break. You know what else? Did you watch that Knicks game? Did you actually sit and watch the Pistons Knicks last night?
I had it on. I was doing some stuff. I saw the end. I watched the end.
TNT made a huge mistake. Beasley lost the ball, went out of bounds.
Yes.
They didn't show a replay of it.
Oh.
They stayed on the guys on the court, shaking hands, hugging and everything. But this was a seminal play, a play that changed the series, ended the series. They never showed, and then they went to the next game.
My guess would be East Coast bias. It's like, Pistons are out, but look, the Knicks won.
Right. They're showing Towns and Brunson.
Mm-hmm.
And me and my son are watching, and I got to see this again. What happened? And I'm waiting. Never, so I had to rewind and take a look at it. But some of the producing is a little sketchy, and directing.
Was he starting to line up the shot before he caught it?
I think so, yeah. I think he, just took his eyes off it just a sec. He would have made that shot too. We'll never know, but that's going to haunt him all offseason.
Sometimes that stuff really does. It really does haunt players.
Right.
We had a player who came here, Nick Anderson.
He'd
been with Orlando, and he missed, I think, 3 free throws in a row. And he could not shoot free throws after that.
Unbelievable, right?
Yeah,
how that happens. Yeah. Never happened to me. I mean,
Right.
I don't get the yips or anything like that. Shoot. No, but seriously, that changed his career. It really did.
Yeah,
it really
they
did.
got him for Tariq Abdul-Wahed.
Oh, yeah, I remember
Olivier St. Jean. And as
Michigan?
No, that was the other one.
State.
Yeah, San Jose State.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, all right. That was somebody else.
And
Michigan's
Olivier, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
What's that, Jay?
No, he's thinking of another Olivier.
Tariq Abdul-Wahed?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Tariq Abdul-Wahed.
I don't know why I thought he was Michigan. French basketball coach they got. Oh, no, I'm thinking of a different guy. Yeah, I'm thinking of a different Tariq from
But
Michigan.
they got him, and then it was like,
he did go to Michigan. Went 1 year to Michigan, then transferred to San Jose State.
Okay, I didn't know he went to Michigan. I know he went to San Jose State.
I'm proud of myself for that one. I'm
Okay.
proud because, all right, I didn't know he went to San Jose State, though. I missed that part.
He was still coaching up there last time I checked on it.
Really?
Yeah, he was coaching the high school squad out in San Jose. Yep.
Okay. All right. That's what we got to do this offseason. Just random names. Just throw them out. See how many we can name. 15 minutes, like one segment. We just go around.
Mm-hmm.
Famous college basketball players from our youth, if you will.
Sure. Yeah,
that's what guys do.
It's going to be a long summer.
I know, right? It is. Already is, man. All right.
The frustrating thing to me about the Kings press conference today was that we just don't have answers yet. And I understand it completely. I don't blame anybody. I understand. They did a really good job tamping down expectations to a degree. Doug Christie, this is to be celebrated. This is a great day for the franchise. It's just so frustrating to have to wait to find out what we all want to find out. Is it going to be massive change? You're going to bring in? Is there someone new they're bringing in? Going to be exciting players coming in? Are we going to have to say goodbye to someone who's a fan favorite? It's just hard to be patient, Drapes. I understand it. I understand it's unreasonable to want to know everything so soon, but it's hard to wait.
It really is. And it's other than the staff, in terms of the roster, it's going to be months almost. You know, like it ain't going to happen in the next 2 weeks.
Well, and as you said, I should be mindful of the fact that it's one thing for us as fans to be wondering what's going on, but you've got staff, right? And they're wondering about their livelihoods.
Talked to several assistant coaches. They got a year left on their deal, and they have not been told whether or not, they're part of Doug's staff or not. Some have been told, hey, man, we got workouts, potential draft workouts coming in on Monday, so be ready for that. But beyond that, they're up in limbo right now.
That's unfortunate. Yeah. So I guess I can be a little more patient about what the heck's going on with the team. And the bottom line on the press conference today, Drapes was there, feeling good, right? I think most Kings fans are starting to feel a little bit more optimism.
Just that, because they look lockstep together. Like they actually look like a pairing, a unit, if you will, not just two individuals. Like the way, Doug even at one point deferred to Scott. Question was asked and said, Doug's like, Scott, you answer that one. It's just, I liked what I saw from those two out there today.
Greg Hyatt suggests they better bring Round Ball Rock theme song by John Tesh back.
Am I the only one that don't like that?
It's okay.
It's okay, right? Yeah, it's people making a bit
goofy over it.
I'm like, I actually didn't like the 90s NBA.
Really?
I wasn't a Jordan
Hannah
fan.
Storm?
I hate it. No, I love
Steve
Hannah
Snapper
Storm.
Jones?
Give me inside stuff all day, baby. I
love Snapper.
Yeah,
Albert,
Steve Snapper Jones. Oh man.
Bob Costas?
Who is my man on TNT doing sidelines? Oh, the brother Jay. Oh, I'm forgetting it. Brian Burwell.
Brian Burwell, man, rest in peace, man. St. Louis guy. He was a St. Louis guy,
man. He was a guy I looked up to.
Love
like
Brian.
That dude. I want his job, man. So.
You ever seen the Saturday Night Live skit on how Round Ball Rock has words?
Oh,
it's funny.
It's pretty funny. All right.
It's John Tesh and his brother is singing the song, and the words are stupid. But anyway, it's worth checking out. How Doug Christie already stacks up against past Kings coaches. We're back with that as we head down the home stretch on a Friday on Sacktown Sports next.
And now, the starting lineup for your 5-time world champion Chicago Bulls. And forward from Central Arkansas, 6'7", Scottie Pippen. On 6'11" forward from Flint, Croatia, Tony Kukoc. The man in the middle from New Mexico, 7'2", Lou Longley. A 6'6" guard from Miami, Ohio, Rob Harper.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Worried about your battery and the heat? We get it. You don't want to get stranded somewhere with a car that feels like an oven. We've got you covered at AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination. Our free battery testing and charging service can help. And if you need a battery, we'll help you find a new one. No problem. Power through with free battery testing and charging at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things. People. Love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Progressive knows when you're in your RV, you're already on vacation. That's when you become Vacation You, who just camped where there's absolutely no shade. Even though regular you burns easily. In fact, Vacation You burns too, but is too stubborn to admit it, which is why regular you gets in trouble at the dermatologist, because Vacation You doesn't do doctors. So bundle your RV with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, when the A's beat the Rangers in Arlington to kick off the most recent road trip, with J.P. Sears getting his fourth win, the A's improved to 15-14, the latest in a season they've been over 500 since 2021. Can they contend this year? Well, as we close the book on April, the American League West is the tightest division in baseball. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
People are coming from all over to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, from Folsom, Elk Grove, Woodland, Roseville, because they've seen for themselves the huge selection and the best prices at SacSuperstore.com. Good luck finding a lower price anywhere else. And if you do, they'll match it. It's as simple as that. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where a handshake still means something. Open until 10 o'clock and essentially located right across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course. And online at SacSuperstore.com. The guaranteed lowest price and the best selection of Dodge, Chrysler, Jeeps, and Rams. SacSuperstore.com.
Get ready for an adrenaline-pumping, action-packed day at Monster Truck Madness. Witness the insane power of Rockstar, California Kid, Identity Theft, Spitfire, Reverse, Titan, and more. Plus, right along the massive Monster Truck. It's all happening Saturday, May 10th at the San Joaquin County Fairgrounds with 2 back-to-back shows at 3 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. Don't miss the wildest event of the year. Tickets are selling fast, so head to StocktonDirtTrack.com for tickets and more info. It's Monster Truck Madness. Non-stop, high-octane thrills that you can't miss.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
How does Doug Christie already stack up against former Kings coaches? We'll look at that in just a moment here with the Drive Guys. Jay, have you noticed how quiet Drape's been today about 49ers' big signing today?
Yeah, he don't want to recognize it.
Yeah, Ross Twilley is back.
He don't want to recognize it.
Who? From Oak Ridge.
That's right, baby. Sacramento product.
Let me
even though it's not Sacramento, I don't need nobody to hit me like it's Oak Ridge, not in Sac.
Oak Ridge. Oh,
Sacramento
local guy,
area.
huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Went to the Falcons, couldn't stay away.
All right. My boy Grant Cohn tweeted about him, actually.
Grant Cohn is your boy?
He says, an American hero has returned. Do we know what that is in reference to? Or
I'm not sure, but
tongue in cheek?
And I like Grant Cohn fine. I've talked to him, but it's just interesting that he's so anti-49er and he's your boy.
Right, well, you see?
Yeah, I get it now. I love Grant
No,
Cohn.
but he says an American hero has returned. I'm trying to. Oh shit! This is what he says. I don't want to diss the local cat because, I'm riding and dying for Sacramento. He says, Twelly is back. He says, adjust your Super Bowl odds accordingly. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's taking a shot right there.
Yeah, I know. I noticed that. Really?
That's messed up.
You were trying to have, positive.
Oh, where you at?
moment.
I don't know, man.
What does my boy Grant Cohn say about it?
My God.
It's hard to have a positive 49ers conversation with me. Same thing about the Warriors. Hard to have a positive Warriors conversation with me.
Yeah, that's
true to myself,
soon, isn't it?
Nah, 6 o'clock, right? 6?
Yeah, another hour.
Yeah, another hour.
All right.
Another hour.
That's going to be a good one. That's going to be a good one.
That's going to be, yeah. It's, did you hear, Zach Lowe taking some shots at Fitzy and Kalena Azubuike?
I didn't hear
on
that.
this podcast. Yeah, Zach Lowe coming at him a little bit because, a lot of talk has been made about Dillon Brooks and hitting Steph Curry and all that. And then Steve Kerr responding. Zach Lowe on his podcast said, quote, "There's no more Homer broadcast in the entire NBA. And for all I know in the world of sports than the Warriors broadcast." He brought this up because Fitzgerald and Azubuike were going at Dillon Brooks for allegedly intentionally trying to hurt Steph Curry. He says, quote, "You don't have to take what they say with a grain of salt. You have to take what they say with a silo of salt." And of course, they're going to bring it up and accuse the Rockets of nefariousness.
You know what's funny about Kerr? I am a Steve Kerr fan.
Yes,
and I don't think he brought it up, but he probably knew it was coming. And he was asked about Dillon Brooks and Rockets like high-fiving Steph, which is legal, and hitting him on the thumb. And he's like, yeah, it's a dumb rule. It's legal. But he did say, I believe he did say, I guess I could call it flagrant.
No way. Talking flagrant?
I think he did. I said, I think you could call it flagrant on it. I believe he did.
Come on, Steve
Which
Kerr.
is pretty good.
What are you doing, man?
Because he's like, yeah, it's legal. And he changed the rule. But I think you could call it flagrant.
Flagrant. He's bringing that up, putting that out there.
Yeah.
And do we get Warriors pregame live up here? Yeah. I want to see what Mully and Bonte and Festus and those guys are doing.
Mully and Festus and who? Who's the other?
Bonte.
Drake, you got to welcome the double team and create for your teammates.
Before we get back to the Kings, we were just talking about the return of pregame introductions when NBC has NBA games last year. And Jay played the, famous, if you're old enough, famous Ray Clay introductions for the Bulls games. And now, and that's one of them. It's probably the most iconic introductions in basketball history because they showed them on NBC all the time, and Michael Jordan got the big hand. So Jay was asking, is Ray Clay still doing it?
Oh, yeah.
And so I looked it up, and I didn't know this. Ray Clay had been doing the Bulls games, and then Michael Jordan left, and he was still doing the Bulls games. And then January of 2002, Michael Jordan, he was coming back to Chicago for the first time he left the Bulls. He was with the Wizards. And so columnist, actually Jay Mariotti, asked Clay, how are you going to introduce Michael Jordan? And Ray Clay said he wanted to introduce Jordan the same way, but he told the reporter, but management had ordered him not to do that. So he said, yeah, I want to introduce him. No, even though he's on the other team, but he let the reporter know. Management told him not to do that. And then after that season ended, he was fired. He was let go.
And what year was that? 2001?
2002 was when Jordan came back.
All right.
Bulls gave no official reason for his dismissal. He thinks he was fired because of his disagreement over Michael Jordan's introduction.
Wouldn't be surprised because the wounds were still fresh. The way Jordan left and the beef between him and Krause, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Maybe. I mean, but he didn't do it. He's not like he disobeyed them.
That organization is petty.
Well, yeah, maybe that's
time,
what they thought. You know what? When people think of you, they think of Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan's not here anymore.
Right.
So he's gone, and now you're gone too.
Right.
So is that talked about enough? And I know Jordan is talked ad nauseum, but the fact of the matter is, you arguably let the greatest player ever walk because you didn't want to pay him.
Well, you saw the
documentary.
Yeah, The Last Dance. It was horrible. But I mean, I'm not a Bulls fan, but it was just so short-sighted because part of it was, I think, the Bulls, Jerry Krause, rest in peace. He thought, I did it once, I'll do it again.
He'll do it again.
Teams make that mistake in
basketball.
Scotty
would trade him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We built that team. We'll just build the other one.
Well, you think you're the genius, you won because of you. I put this together.
Rather than recognize, whoa, this fell in our lap. I'm very lucky.
Right. Because you know what's crazy about that? Would the Bulls have taken Jordan number 1 if they got the number 1 pick? Probably not. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like Kevin Durant and Greg Oden.
Yeah.
Everybody was taking Greg Oden.
Right.
And Kevin, it's like the Celtics. Well, maybe the Celtics would have taken Tatum, but sometimes it's like, all right, you took that guy, and then the second guy becomes the guy, or the third guy.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody thought Jordan was going to be this great.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
something similar happened here when Webb was traded, and he wasn't Weber anymore. So I'm not saying Jeff Petrie got rid of him thinking he could do it again, but they did try. Of course they tried. But I remember they had our buddy Jason Thompson and Spencer Hawes, and they were built, kind of billed as, Vlade and Webb Part 2, Shock and Hawes they used to call them, and obviously
Hawes
didn't quite measure up. It's just hard to replicate, impossible. In fact, that's why a team like the Warriors, they've been trying to hang on to Steph Curry. They have been hanging on to him, and that's why I see your point when you say if you're the Bucks, you got Giannis, hang on to him, right? Because once he's gone, you ain't getting another one.
And the thing about the Warriors, watching Festus, Monty Poole, and them during pregame now,
and Kareth,
Kareth Burke, they don't have, because they hitched their wagon not only to Steph but to Jimmy Butler also. They don't have a succession plan. The Lakers may not be good this year, but at least, depending on Luka's health, they're like, all right, at least we have our guy for the next 8 years, 10 years, whatever.
Rockets attack Steph's tender thumb with idiotic rules on their side.
See, this is the media sucks, man. Homer Team Media on NBC Sports Bay Area. Their graphic at the bottom. Rockets attack Steph's tender thumb with idiotic rules on their side. This is terrible, man. Jokers.
Yeah. Look at Doug Christie, how he stacks up against other Kings coaches already when we come right back to Sacktown Sports.
Memorial Day is the unofficial beginning of summer and a time to reflect on the blessings we enjoy living in this country. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. At Naturewood's Memorial Day sale, you choose the offer. It's like 2 sales in one. Take 10% off regular prices or get 24 months of no-interest financing with payments on approved credit. Then you can choose from living rooms, sofas, sectionals, dining rooms, bedrooms, home offices, and so much more. Whether you're looking to lighten the mood in your living room, brighten up your bedroom, or tighten up your home office, you can shop and save big on the best selection of quality furniture, including Sacramento's largest selection of furniture made in the USA. Shop the area's best selection of quality furniture at Naturewood Home Furnishings. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for that water wheel.
Alan Stiles here with your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Jose Leclerc, right-handed pitcher out with that right lat strain, is currently shut down from throwing. Will receive a second opinion with the doctor this week. Zach Geloff, out with that fractured right hand, is set to begin a rehab assignment with AAA Las Vegas this week as well. Goal is to get around 35 at-bats, and that will put him in line for a return in early May. This injury report was brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Hey, I'm Alan Stiles. Have an injury? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, an injury law firm, has many happy clients in Sacramento and the surrounding areas who have called Downtown. Get paid for your injuries from slip and falls or auto accidents. One of their most recent settlements was $1.5 million for a motorcycle accident. Have you had an auto accident? Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222 and visit them at calldowntown.com.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
I'm not sure this is healthy for Drapes. He wanted to watch the Warrior pregame show, but given his disdain for everything related to the Warriors, I don't know if it's healthy for you to watch this.
No, this is exactly what I need right now because I told you at the early start of the show, right around 4:30, I start to doze off, nod off. My focus isn't there.
Oh, but now you got your blood boiling?
Yeah, because, watching Bonte and Mully, it's like walking by stale garbage. It's like you smell it. You're like, oh, what was that? So watching them, I'm like,
so it's like Doug with his smelling
right,
salt?
Yeah, it's like Doug with the smelling salt. Seeing those guys, I got to watch, so it's keeping me locked in here. It's keeping me, fresh and alive here. Dude, I'll tell you what, I got not even 45 minutes. I got a flight to Vegas tonight, big fella. That's all my mind is on. Looking at that clock, keep them seconds rolling. I need a running clock.
I'm not going to tell you the nickname I had for Steph when I was in the Bay Area because you wouldn't like it.
Your Highness or something like that?
No. What does GOAT stand for?
Greatest of all time.
Yeah. So I used to say Steph Curry's not the GOAT. He's the goose. He's the greatest of outside shooters ever.
Huh?
Goose. Greatest of outside shooters ever. And the gooseneck?
Yeah. You used to say that?
I did.
Okay.
Kareth liked it. I know that.
Did it stick?
No.
Any T-shirts with it or anything?
None.
Okay. All right.
It did not. It did not.
Good job. Good effort.
Yeah. Thanks. Hopefully, Doug Christie will stick as coach of the Kings. One of the things that stands out to me, Trapes, I know it's small sample size because he's only coached, 51 games? He's 27-24, 529 winning percentage. In the history of the Sacramento Kings, there's only two coaches who have a higher winning percentage than Doug Christie does right now.
Mike Brown.
Mike Brown, who is at 549, 107 and 88.
And Adelman.
Adelman, 633.
Damn.
Nobody else even has a 500 record as head coach of the Kings. No.
Damn.
Yeah, you go back to like Phil Johnson, 403. Jerry had a couple of stints. Bill Russell, 293. Dick Motta, 298. Rex Hughes, 386. Saint, 403. Eddie Jordan, 34%. Musselman, 402. Reggie Theus, 415. Kenny Nat, 190. Westfall, 298. Keith Smart, 340. Michael Malone, 368. Ty Corbin, 250. George Karl, 393.
Dave Yeager,
Coach
what
Yeager,
you got?
398.
Dang.
Luke, 422, and then Alvin, 369. So it has been rough sledding.
You got him at 27-24?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does the record not count for the fill-in for Alvin Gentry week? Or
No, that doesn't count.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
those
it's
4
like
games or whatever.
Luke Walton, when he won all those games and filling for Kurt.
So who does that go on Gentry's record? Who's that? Just miscellaneous that goes to nobody?
Whoever the head coach was.
It was Gentry.
Yeah.
But he took over for Luke Walton. In mid-season. Like it wasn't.
He was interim.
So who gets these numbers here from this season?
27-24.
27-24.
It's Doug.
They do listed.
Yeah. Because he was interim, but he was coaching the team.
I'm a look here.
I'll show it. It's right here.
No, but you on Wikipedia. That don't count.
Well, but we know he was 27-24.
No, I know that, but I want to go to like does Basketball Reference listed? I see what you mean because he was named interim head coach. I just want to see it. Like I can't trust You know what Wikipedia is good for?
What's that?
Looking at something and then go finding out the info yourself. Like you need 2 or 3 sources when you look at Wikipedia, big fella.
Okay, but you see the point I'm trying to make,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And it's not that all these guys, some of these guys are proven excellent coaches, but for some reason it's been very difficult to overcome the gravity here in Sacramento that has been pulling basketball-wise almost everything down.
And what's crazy about that, I thought Luke Walton's tenure was worse than compared to everybody else.
68-93, yeah.
Luke
422.
422 is hey man,
he might be 4th
in winning percentage.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, there's not a lot that are over 40%. And I think he might be up there in 4th place all time in winning percentage.
Wow.
As a Sacramento Kings head coach.
Wow. Luke Walton.
Mm-hmm. And then the only guys that coached him in the playoffs, Phil Johnson, Gary St. Jean, Adelman for, like 69 games. And then Mike Brown.
And then Mike Brown, right?
Yeah. I mention all this not to be, depressing, but just to say, maybe Doug's the guy that can start. Well, it's already started to turn in the right direction with Mike. they've had better teams the last couple of years, so maybe hopefully this is the start of something, and Doug Christie can avoid the fate that many of these other gentlemen have suffered here coaching the Kings.
So I got Doug Christie third highest winning percentage in Sacramento. Yeah. Rick Adelman.
And by the way, does 24 include the play-in, or does that?
Nah.
Okay, yeah, that's a whole separate.
That's a whole. They say those stats go into the nether region or whatever. You know, just like Neverland, like it's just out there. Wow, this is so. Doug's done a hell of a job. Is what you're saying.
There you go.
I mean, if you extrapolate that over a full season, Whitey, and the Kings finish with a 529 winning percentage, fans would be okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
We'd love that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we fans would say, yes, we're on the right track. I know there were some losses at the end and some hiccups and everything like that. 529 in the East would have been good enough for the 7th seed. In the West, because the West is so tough, it would have been the 9th seed. But still, like 529 winning percentage, that's nothing to, poo-poo over. That's solid. Right. That's solid.
Another thing that stands out to me is that it is rare for anyone who's coached the Kings in the last 30 years to coach the Kings and then go on and coach anybody else. You look at these names for a lot of these guys. Now, of course, Rick Adelman did, Saint did a little bit, even, Mata did. And of course, Coach Michael Malone did. But for a lot of these guys, and I know Reggie coached other places, but not a lot of Kings people that then became a head coach somewhere else. It's like you're here, and then it's like
your career's
your
over.
Assistant or something. I don't know. Like Dave Yeager, I thought Dave Yeager was a good coach before he got here. He was a good coach.
He got another job though, right? Yeah,
but not as
Memphis.
Was he the head coach there?
Yeah, okay. He was.
Well, I thought that was before.
Was it?
Yeah, he was a head coach of Memphis before.
Get out of here. All right, maybe you're right. You would know. You were around. Really, I thought he went after.
Because he had that tearful.
That was before. Memphis was before.
Yeah, but Memphis was. Damn.
Yeah.
You're right. And then went to Philly under Doc Rivers after that. He deserves another shot, probably.
Yeah.
This season just ended, right? He's on the Bucks bench, isn't he?
Yeah, Milwaukee with Doc now. Yeah.
At least the last few, there have been attempts to hire legitimate NBA coaches. George Karl didn't work out. Coach Yeager, Luke Walton, and Alvin was here, and then Mike Brown, Doug Christie. Whereas you had the run there of guys that's like, what are we doing?
Ty Corbin.
Yeah, nothing against Ty Corbin, but
yes. Whew. Like George Karl, was that his last stop too? Sacramento?
Yes, it was.
Wow.
Yeah, and I remember I was very excited about that, and it did not work out.
Really?
44 and 68, and then poor George. He'd had some issues with throat cancer. I think it was difficult for him during games to make his voice loud enough. He could talk. He does interviews and stuff, but then there was an assistant that would talk to the team, and some people had an issue with that. So we've had our share of interesting situations with coaches here.
Damn,
you've seen plenty of it.
I've seen it. Luke Walton, the 4th winningest coach in Sacramento Kings history. That is that's crazy. That's ludicrous.
Yeah. Well, they were thrilled to get him, right? When they hired Luke Walton, they were very happy to land him.
Yeah. And he flamed out in LA. But he had that run with Golden State, and everybody thought he was the next guy, and just hasn't panned out.
Yeah.
I wonder if he'll ever get another shot, because he's still young.
Isn't he with Cleveland now?
Yeah, he's on a Cleveland staff now. 45 years old. I don't know.
The whole approach to bringing on coaches is changing, isn't it? When you look at the hires made today,
these are young guys.
Yeah,
it's the old guard is no longer. It's Mitch.
Great examples. Mark
Dagnall, exactly. These are guys that you don't have to have played anymore either. These are like a guy like. Who's your boy out there in Memphis? Tomas Isalo.
Yes.
Tomas
Isalo.
Isalo. And
he played, just not here.
Why do you think that is? Is it analytics? Is it relationships with players? Why do you think we're seeing a younger generation of coaches?
I wonder if part of it is because players make so much money now that they don't need some of them don't need to go into coaching, but it has to be analytics. How about, some of these younger guys are not as expensive.
That too.
Mm-hmm.
That too.
Yeah. And if you have, more and more, you're just beholden to the players. You can't afford to hire a guy who's going to come in and say, my way or the highway. Right. And they're like, we don't care.
Yeah.
So you just have kind of a more middle manager.
Yeah.
Whose job is to make sure the players are happy.
I think that's part of it. I think so. Players are making so much money. So you definitely don't see the star players, in that second career coaching or anything like that. Also think TV has become so lucrative and more stable than coaching, not as volatile.
Yeah.
You got some guys that, love the TV and, don't want to deal with the coaching aspect of it too. So.
How good of a hire was this for the Kings? What's your prediction? Doug Christie gets the job.
In terms of season, career, art
for the Kings compared to all this, where they are, what they need right now.
I got Doug at minimum 5 years on the job. I think the time has come where we have some stability, some continuity, where we let things grow. Anything less than 5 years would be a disappointment for me.
I think we may be to the point now where for Vivek to get involved more, I think it would become detrimental to everything. People are so focused on that.
Yeah.
And he's a smart man. I think he realizes, and I'm sure he's going to be involved, but just not to the degree that he was.
Yeah.
With Scott Perry and Doug Christie. I think we might have finally accomplished something. We might actually have basketball ops that are going to be allowed to do what they do, and they're also going to be very competent. How about that?
I look at the Perry Christie marriage as one that has to last at least 5 years for us to truly see whether it's successful. I want to see their vision actually manifested with the roster and the team on the floor.
Well, you're right. If a year and a half from now we're looking at bringing in somebody else,
I'm like
never mind.
What are we doing?
I'm out.
Yeah.
When we come back, which NBA players are expanding their legacy during these playoffs? Next, Sacktown Sports.
Count on Kohl's for those special gifts Mom deserves this Mother's Day. Inspire her inner chef with must-haves for her kitchen, wellness essentials for her fitness routine, and jewelry for her perfect night out. Plus, you can save 15% on some of your finds and earn Kohl's cash. Find Mom's perfect gift in time for Mother's Day at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. Select styles. Offer valid through May 11th. Kohl's cash and coupons do not apply to Sephora. Exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for more details.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Whitey here with another great grilling tip. The Napoleon Stainless Steel Prestige 500 Connected Propane Grill with infrared side and rear burner featuring Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity brings you closer to your grilling experience than ever before. The Napoleon Connected lets you monitor temperatures, set timers, and receive high temp warnings. Boop, boop. All from your smartphone with temperature probes and LCD display. You'll always know exactly what's happening inside your grill. Napoleon's LED control knobs even illuminate for nighttime entertaining and feature safety glow. Napoleon Grills, simply the best.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is only a few weeks away with Bailey Zimmerman. Cole Wetzel. Plus Billy Currington, Nate Smith, Ernest, and more. Friday and Saturday, May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo. Don't miss pop-up stores, food trucks, line dancing, and more. Country in the Park, celebrating 25 years, May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Goldfield Trading Post, Java City, and Elemental Wine. Get tickets and more at CITPFest.com.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Live and local, it's the Tribe Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
We have two late.
Listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Pardon me, miss. We have two late text of the day nominees here from the 916. Kevin, Kyle, in reference to the domain name of Wikipedia, it is a .com. While it has gained some credibility in academia, .org, .edu, and .gov are considered the most reliable online sources. That's good to know.
Thanks for that info. Did not know that here on May 2nd, 2025. Thank you.
Thank you. So that's a nominee.
Okay.
Then we have from Folsom Mike, back to the LeBron podcast with Nash. They talk about coaching or the fact it doesn't matter. It's players and IQ. So for Kerr, it's Steph. It's nice to Steph. It's be nice to Steph. And to go further, Phil Jackson had Kobe Shaq. Is it really coaching at this level? Asked Folsom Mike.
Folsom Mike.
We really thought about coaching or just managing your best players and their egos.
That's one thing I said the other day, right? The X's and O's I don't think are as important anymore. It's your relationship with the players, how to motivate them, how to get the most out of them. I look at what Mike Brown did. You can't tell me Mike Brown's not a good coach. But what happened is the players stopped believing him. So coaching is so much more than X's and O's nowadays, I feel like.
It's more than that, but I think if you're watching the playoffs closely, you know that it still matters a lot.
But at the head job, or is it like when Mike Brown was coach, I never saw him pick up the clipboard. Like now it's almost like NFL head coach where you got an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator.
It might be definition of terms. You're just strictly X's and O's. Okay. I'm talking about all the other things like substitutions, when to call timeout. I mean, you made the point. Kerr and Ime Udoka, coaching-wise, they've been going at each other.
Yeah.
It's been fun to watch.
Well, and that's the thing, outside of – I feel like the head guy gets a ton of credit. Like, for instance, Ime Udoka, and who knows, this may be his call. The defense they're playing on Steph Curry, I think, has been fantastic. I think it's been phenomenal. But, when you look at the Kings' offense in the Beam Team year 2023, that was Jay Triano. That was Jay Triano designing that offense. And Jay didn't get enough credit, I believe. And so I feel like the head coach gets a lot of the credit, but also an inordinate amount of the blame too, like both ways.
You're starting to sound like Doc Rivers.
No, I know, right? you got to have good assistants is what I'm saying. Like Joe Mazzulla all of a sudden didn't become a good head coach. Now you get Sam Cassell beside you. You get Charles, now all of a sudden your player, it's Joe Mazzulla didn't forget how to coach or learn how to coach. even though he did improve on some areas, but you boost up his assistants. That's why I think the same thing with Doug. It's important he gets the right assistants next to him.
Fair enough. But how about Jay's boy, JJ Redick, this week? There's another example of how you better know what you're doing. Right. And the last thing you can be is stubborn, closed-minded.
And that's what we're hearing about JJ right now, right?
Yeah. And I think they were probably going to lose anyway. I don't know if they would have lost in 5. I don't know if you agree. Minnesota's they're really coming together right now. But he made they might have been catastrophic decisions. It's easy to say that. We always, they were disastrous. They might have actually been.
You know what's interesting about that? Because it's about the substitutions. People are talking about same 5 guys. A lot of teams rely on the assistant to make the substitutions because the head coach is so busy, like in the game and everything that he's, not looking at the clock every second. All right, now, a lot of times it is the assistant coaches. I know it happened here in Sacramento where the assistant coaches were in charge of making the substitutions. Now, late in games and things like that, but throughout, the course of a game, first quarter, second quarter, third,
because you got it blocked out. This guy's going to get his rest at this point.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You go in with a game plan. And that's part of, the issues I've had at times with Mike or whoever it is with to me, the game should dictate who plays and not, all right, I got this guy. He's going to play 33 minutes tonight. He's only going to play 24. It's like, so what if one night, for instance, how many times have we seen a player cooking? It's the 6-minute mark. His time to come out.
Yeah.
It's like, no, let him rock for another few minutes.
But that's a great point. I wasn't aware of that. But we don't see that as much during the playoffs, do we? I mean, there's a little more, coaches are more aware of. Oh, I can't afford to sit this guy right now.
Exactly. Although people are getting on JB last night, Bickerstaff, for sitting Asar Thompson last night, late in the game against Brunson and them. And they brought him back with a couple minutes left. But it's like, what about this 3 or 4 minute stretch? And so,
but that's what was funny about the question for JJ Redick. You mentioned the assistants sometimes determine substitutions, and whoever asked him that question was like, "Are you going to have the assistants?"
Yeah.
And the way he phrased it, I think he literally said, "Are you going to have the assistants or anybody?" Like, who else would it be? The assistants or anybody help you?
Yeah, help
figuring
you
out
with
who's
that.
going to go in the game.
Like, you clearly don't know what you're doing when it comes to that. So just anyone, Bueller, anybody help this guy out? Yeah, that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad.
And Redick didn't storm off, but he was just like, "That's the worst question ever." But I've had enough of that. Who do you think which players are really expanding their legacies?
This
certainly is, right? He knocked off
100%.
King and Luka, and then he
100%.
paraded around Los Angeles. Brunson's reputation, postseason, big game, big shot.
Tyrese?
Reputation. Yeah, I think so.
To an extent, yeah.
He hasn't put up huge numbers, but I think he's leading playoffs in assists, and they're winning.
Right.
And if they win, he's going to get lion's share of the credit.
And think about this with Tyrese. Last year, Eastern Conference Finals. This year, second round. Like, he's building a pretty good postseason resume so far.
Yeah, I know. It's no fun.
I know,
to
right?
think about. Yeah.
You real quick because we got the quiz coming up, right?
Yes, we do.
You got one for today.
Yeah.
Did you see?
Sure you want any of that?
Come on, man. I'm about to go to Vegas. I want to start my luck right now. Did you see what happened? Jay's guy in the Kentucky Derby got scratched.
Yeah,
Grande.
Grande.
I did see that, and I couldn't remember. I thought it was your horse, but I wasn't sure.
Jay's guy Grande got scratched.
And I know the owner was saying they didn't give us an explanation.
Yeah, that's I heard that coming in, driving in, and everything.
Load management in the Kentucky Derby. That's not a good idea.
My horse guys hit me and let me know. I said, but I got a replacement, fellas.
Who you got?
Can't tell you.
What do you mean can't tell? You told us Grande yesterday. You told us Grande yesterday, Jay.
Yeah, I got you. Let's see.
People to
my new one is journalism.
Oh,
that's the favorite.
Yeah.
But that's not. He's not picked to win.
No, I thought our boy Ken Rudolph said yesterday, stay away from journalism.
Yes, he did. He did say that.
All right, how about sovereignty?
Let me see what sovereignty's 9-1.
Yeah.
Bill Bott, the trainer.
Pick him for third.
All right, I like that. I like that.
Going Gambit. Final Gambit's my guy.
That's what he
that's what I'm going Gambit.
at 15-1 as of last check. 15
Then I'm going Whitey's Luxor Cafe.
Yes, sir.
What, you want to do a trifecta? Or
Yes,
something?
sir. The
You
box,
boxing
baby.
it up. Okay. I haven't even thought about it, fellas. But I'm
Oh,
gonna
you
play
got
something.
time.
Yeah, I
You got time. It's all nighter for you, brother.
Yep. He said an all nighter. She's talking about Jay. I'm going to bed at 10, big fella.
That is a fun
You
race.
might as well stay in Folsom then.
I know. What, Kentucky Derby?
It
Yeah,
is.
It's a blast.
What about Cade? Did Cade do enough in their brief playoff appearance?
Nah, I don't think so.
He helped them get there.
He showed a little. Right. He helped them
If
get
Beasley
there.
makes that shot.
Right. Then we're talking a Game 7 Cade. Then we're talking about something different. I thought he was good. I don't think he was great in that series, though. And so he still got some more to add to his legacy.
You know who could really take a long stride towards reestablishing his legacy identity as if your guy, Jalen Green, if he were to have a couple of big games here and they win.
Close them out.
Yeah.
Have a 35-piece tonight or a 39-piece.
I don't know if he has it in him.
He just had 38 3 games ago, Whitey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you might be right. You might be right.
And they got to make their free throws.
Got to make their free throws. They've been horrible this series. Horrible. And I expect the Warriors to come out tonight and try to put the foot on the necks early. Jimmy Butler, those guys. Like, I don't view the Warriors as a patient team. Like, all right, just
Let
stay
the
with
game
it.
come to us.
Yeah, let the game hit a couple singles. They're going to look to go on a huge run early, like, because they're pissed off about how Game 5 went for them the other night. So,
and how they officiate Şengün is going to be a huge factor.
dude, hopefully he gets to the line. Hopefully Draymond gets teed up. Because here's the thing, Whitey. When I watch Festus and Bonte and all those guys, like, they just ooze with arrogance. Look at the way Chris Mullin's sitting right there. I'm Chris Mullin.
He's Chris Mullin.
I know, but it's what I'm saying, man. Be humble, young fella, Chris Mullin. Look at Festus. Festus is a Sacramento guy. But he rides with the Warriors. It's killing me, man. It's killing me. Sorry about that.
He played with the Warriors.
I know. I give him a slight pass.
Whitey's Wayback Machine quiz wraps up the week next on Sacktown Sports.
There are so many benefits of working with the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento. Now, we chose them to get our new garage doors, and we're so thrilled that we did. They look absolutely amazing. Jason Ross here. And for us, well, we just flat out needed new garage doors. But maybe you do as well, or maybe it's just repairs to your existing doors. Well, the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento can help you with that. It is also a great time of year because this is when homes go on the market. So is yours ready? Well, one thing, don't forget about that garage door, because a new garage door can increase the value of your home. First off, with Curb Appeal, a new modern or stylish garage door can improve the overall appearance of your house. Also, the return on investment. It is one of the most cost-effective upgrades to increase your home value. You can see for yourself. Just visit the showroom off Franklin Boulevard and ask about the Sacktown Sports Special. Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, the genuine, the original overhead door. Always look for the red ribbon logo.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the mountains or go pick up your dry cleaning? RV wins! Are we cleaning the gutters or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Are we getting a new passport or cruising up the coast? RV wins!
Don't forget, you got that trip to Sweden coming up.
Oh, yeah, passport, then RV.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states and situations.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, when the A's beat the Rangers in Arlington to kick off the most recent road trip, with J.P. Sears getting his 4th win, the A's improved to 15-14, the latest in a season they've been over 500 since 2021. Can they contend this year? Well, as we close the book on April, the American League West is the tightest division in baseball. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Funny story about this song you just heard there. Probably heard this song a million times. There's a piano in the beginning of this song. It's nowhere else in the song. It's like a chord. And then Sting laughs. And what happened, and I think he explained this, he was doing an interview like with the Davis radio station. They're recording this song. He's in this little studio because this was their first album. And in the studio, there's a piano behind him. And he thought the cover was on it. And so he's leaning back, getting ready to start his vocals. And he sits on it. And it goes, boom. And it happened to fit the song. And then he laughed.
And he laughed. And
then he says, we decided to keep it in because we thought no one's ever even going to hear this song.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that.
It's just an accident.
Right. And it wound up sticking, though.
Yeah.
It worked. Okay.
Drive Guys here. By the way, all the best to the Athletics, Drapes. So, you look at those wild card standings, 17-15. They're right there. They're tied for that second wild card in the American League.
I guess we could start looking at.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
They have 6th in that right now in Florida.
Are they? Okay.
Top 6.
All right.
And there's probably about 4,300 fans out there watching the game in
Did you
Florida.
happen to see any of the Giants game last night?
No.
I just saw some pictures today. They played Colorado. There was nobody there.
Nobody
This
there?
was in San Francisco.
In San Francisco?
Really sparse crowd. Really
What's the
sparse crowd.
attendance? Let's go look it up.
Oh, they said like 23 something, but it was more like 23.
23. More like 23. Really?
Colorado's horrible.
Yeah.
And
Nobody
it's just this time of year, baseball.
Yeah.
I love baseball.
Better do them 2 for $25 tickets down there at that overrated ballpark.
Yeah. The A's, if they win tonight, they'd be 3 games over. And then I would just love for them to get into the postseason, and then baseball would have to figure out where are we going to play.
You would love that, huh?
Yes.
That wouldn't make us look bad?
I think it makes them look bad.
You wouldn't get us up in arms? This is ridiculous. This is, we supported you all season long.
I would get mad about that.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe they would have to maybe they'd cave. Maybe they'd have to play at least 1 game here.
All right.
I don't know.
All right.
But I want to see them in that situation.
See,
and I love that
have to squirm a
David
little bit.
Force, the GM, I remember him saying that. I think when they signed Severino. So we want to make the playoffs. We want to put baseball in that position.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. They're doing a good job, right? What, 2 back, you said, of wild card?
They're in the wild card right now.
Oh, they're in the
tied
wild.
for the second wild card.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So they pretty much, doing the math here, I think they may have clinched it.
Right. With about what,
130
games left to go.
2 games left.
Right.
That brings us to Whitey's Wayback Machine quiz for May the 2nd. And it's brought to you by Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. The hot weather is coming. Did I tell you about Alan Stiles today, talking about the hot weather?
Yeah. You said that.
Conquered. Love you, Alan. Here are the categories. Jay is up first today. Jay has got a little winning streak going.
Not a winning streak. Just holding the belt because we tied yesterday.
Jay has held the belt now. Has it been a week, Jay?
It's been a week.
Has it?
A week and a day.
Okay. All right. So
send them on to Vegas.
This ain't the Ryder Cup, Whitey, where
No,
tie
yeah.
is, you know what I mean? Nah, he hasn't won. He just retains the belt.
All right. Jay, here are your
Split
categories
decision.
today. This day, what year?
Draw.
NFL Draft. This date, what year in MLB? We also have 2002, and we have 2005, 2015, and 2023. So we're not going too far back today, other than the this dates perhaps. This date, what year NFL draft? This date, what year in MLB? 2002, 2005, 2015, and 2023.
Let's go 02.
2002. Multiple choice for you, Jay.
All right.
This is a crazy one.
Okay.
What team scores 10 runs in the first inning with 2 players becoming the first to hit back-to-back homers twice in the same inning?
What?
Damn. Back-to-back jacks?
Yeah.
What year was this?
This is 2002.
Okay.
2 guys on this team went back-to-back twice
Yeah.
in the same inning.
All right.
What team? Mariners, Blue Jays, Rangers. Happened this day, 2002.
It was the Rangers.
It was not the Rangers.
Oh, Mariners.
Drapes, your chance to steal. 2002, what team scores 10 in the first with 2 players becoming the first to hit back-to-back homers twice in the
I
same
was
inning?
there from 2000 to 2003. I'm leaning. You said
Mariners or Blue Jays?
I'm leaning
Rangers
Blue
off the board.
Jays. But that Mariners team was pretty damn good, if I'm correct. Mariners, baby.
Correct. It was actually Mike Cameron and didn't you play with
Who was it?
one
Jay
of the Boones?
Buhner? Who was it?
No, it was
It was Brett Boone?
Yeah.
Or Aaron Boone?
I think it was Brent
Brett.
Boone. Brent Boone.
Brett Boone.
Yeah. There you go. 1-0. KD, you got the point, and you're up.
That was the Rangers, man.
Celebrating
Dude,
a lot
that
for
was a
1-0
tough one.
lead.
That's Jay's sport, baseball.
That is.
Shoot.
That is. This date, what year NFL draft? This date, what year MLB? 05, 2015, and 2023.
2023.
2023. Joel Embiid.
Okay. My guy.
This date, 2023, wins
It's a
the
Embiid your
MVP.
Philadelphia, baby.
Okay,
Yeah,
just checking,
my
just
guy.
checking.
Is Aaron Boone your guy?
Aaron Bleeping Boone?
Yeah.
That's
Joel-
what they call him in Boston.
That's right, that's
Aaron
right.
Bleeping Boone, yeah.
Joel Embiid wins the MVP award. Which of these franchises, Drapes, has never produced an NBA MVP?
I got this. Go ahead. I need got it. Go ahead.
The
Go ahead.
Clippers Braves franchise.
Oh, you're doing AB Clippers
franchise.
Oh, franchise. Okay, all right.
Just
Okay.
so there's no confusion. Pacers, Hawks. Which of those 3 franchises has never produced an NBA MVP? Clippers franchise, which goes back to the Braves.
Buffalo.
Pacers, Hawks. Has never produced an NBA MVP.
NBA MVP.
Yes, sir.
NBA. You said Atlanta Hawks?
I did. I said
Was
yes.
it was one of them also?
2023, this day, Joel Embiid won that MVP award. Drapes working on this.
Yeah,
Look at the
because I'm trying. I'm
concentration.
going through the years. I'm going
Look
through
at
the years.
concentration. Jay's getting ready for his answer. If Drapes stumbles.
Pacers.
Correct.
That's where I was going, Pacers.
Jay,
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
2-0.
Tell him sit him down, baby.
Doing a lot of early celebrating here.
That smoke coming out
Come
my
on
ears
now,
and
come
everything
on
on that
now.
one. All
Back
right.
flips in the second inning.
Yeah,
Jay.
he is. I'm a hawking down like tomorrow's race.
But
right.
you do have that 2-0 lead. So, Jay, you're up. This
All
day,
right,
what
here
year
we go.
NFL draft? This day, what year in MLB? 2005 and 2015.
Let's go 05.
2005 is multiple choice.
Yeah.
This date, 2005, what coach is fined a record $100,000 for accusing officials of targeting one of his players during the playoffs? Jeff Van Gundy, Phil Jackson, Greg Popovich. I have to be honest, I saw this. I have no recollection of this.
Oh, 05.
2005. What coach has fined a record $100,000 for accusing officials of targeting one of his players during the playoffs? Jeff Van Gundy, Phil Jackson, Greg Popovich. Drapes with the 2-0 lead, off to a good start.
05?
That's
I don't remember that at all. I'm gonna go with Phil Jackson.
Phil Jackson's not correct.
Damn.
Drapes for the
Greg
command.
Popovich.
Incorrect.
Oh, it was Van
It
Gundy?
was Van
Who
Gundy.
was he coaching for in 05?
Yao Ming was
Oh,
a player.
I forgot about the
Think
Rockets.
about
Yeah.
Houston.
Because I'm like, who was Van Gundy coaching for?
Yeah.
All right.
He said
Okay.
they were targeting Yao Ming.
I thought I had that.
No harm, no foul. But Drapes, you didn't get the point, but neither did Jay. You're up 2-0, and you're up here.
Ooh, if I get this one.
This day, what year NFL draft? This day, what year in MLB? In 2015.
NFL draft.
This day, what year in the NFL draft? Houston Oilers, number 1, takes Earl Campbell with the first pick in the NFL draft. This date, what year?
And I can let Jay go first.
You can.
Right?
If you
Jay
wish.
can go first, please.
Yes. Jay, this day, what year in the NFL draft? Houston Oilers take Earl Campbell with the first pick in the NFL draft. Drapes has the lead here.
We'll go with 78.
78. Drapes, I want you to know that is correct.
I'm about to say I nailed it, right?
Good one, Jay. Good one.
Good one, Jay.
Good one.
2-1. All right, Drapes. That was very well done. On the money. So you're up, Katie. You could still clinch it. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Jay's turn. Yeah,
Jay, your turn. This day, what year? MLB 2015.
MLB.
This day, what year in MLB? Hideo Nomo pitches against the Giants, becoming the first Japanese player to play in the majors in 3 decades.
Yes, sir.
This day, what year?
3 decades.
Hideo Nomo pitches this date against the Giants. I remember this game. Becoming the first Japanese player to play in the majors in 3 decades, and he would open the door to many Japanese players.
So what year? I'm saying what year?
Yeah.
2020.
2020?
2019.
It was 1995. And Kyle Draper.
Oh, I did it wrong then. I misinterpreted that question.
Kyle Draper.
Yeah, that's my fault.
Yeah.
So
He
basically,
said 2020. I was like, what?
because I'm thinking, I thought it as what date did he hit the 3rd decade versus what did he debut?
Yeah.
Debut. Okay, I got you.
And what year was it?
95. I'd have said 96.
I would have said 97
Yeah,
if I went first. So
Yeah,
that
96.
was.
Yeah.
My bad. I heard
That's
that
all right.
wrong.
That's okay.
That's all. Now you got to go get your chips up.
Yeah, now I gotta go. I'm gonna lay them all on the ponies tonight,
That's right,
baby. I'm
baby.
feeling good.
Have a good trip, Drapes.
Thanks.
Yeah.
See you guys Tuesday.
Yep, Jay, have a good weekend. Stick around. Don't forget tomorrow, join Emmer and I for the True Sports Card Show. We got Infinity Sports Radio next on Sacktown Sports.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.